Yeah. There we go.
Thanks everyone for joining me here tonight. I appreciate it. My guest here is your boy JDQ. How's it going, JDQ?
Yo, what up? What it do? It's your boy JDQ from the South Side here in Florida. Terrence, thanks for inviting me, boy. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome, brother. Yeah, I was thinking like there's a few people I want to interview. Like I last week I interviewed Chris LaRoche, Wish,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
and I said, I want to interview JDQ too. Like you're one of the other people I want to interview. Plus we never actually got to speak before. Like on a
Ex-
stream.
exactly. I do remember that. Yeah.
So, hey Tommy, how's it going? Um, so how was your day today, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, no, no. Today it was one of those less interesting days as far as crazy stuff that happens in my day to day life. Today was actually pretty smooth. As far as like smooth goes, you know what I'm saying? Like for my day to day stuff.
Hmm.
I think you already know, and most of you guys already know, but on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday mornings, I always take pops to the his dialysis routine,
Yeah.
and I think you were one of the few people that you know got to hear what happened 2 days ago. Appreciate that, Sabrina. Thank you. Um, I had woken up with my dad to like both of our cars missing from the parking lot on Monday, right?
Yeah.
Because of the whole, parking backwards, back way in, whatever that means.
Hmm.
Parking in reverse in the spot. So that specific day, right, that went down. But today it was thankfully it was like smooth. We woke up. I took him to his thing, came back, went about my day or whatever. And so, as far as crazy stuff happening, nothing really crazy has happened today, except for actually now that I remember, you know, Kiko, my cousin that goes on with me on Vision Eye View.
Yeah.
He was actually telling me, he was like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna try to get like I don't know, like some type of legal help or something because they're screwing me over on Spotify, man." I'm like, "What's going on? What happened?" And he's like, "Man, I tried sending my link to my music to my like from my songs and albums on Spotify to my brother and other people,
Hmm.
and once they click on it, it's not even my music. It's like somebody else's music." So I was
That's
like, that's messed up. That's crazy. And I had never heard of something like that happening to anybody, right?
yeah.
So I told him, yeah, man, like the best thing you should do when it comes to a situation like that is probably get yourself a lawyer that specializes in that type of case. You know what I'm saying? Like regarding online music, streaming or whatever. And obviously, you want to get someone that's not going to charge you, like unless you win.
Hmm.
So that's what I told him. That's the best advice as I could give him. It's like, yo, just if you're gonna do that, just try to get someone who, won't charge you unless you win. Um, outside of that, I guess another interesting thing that happened today. Um, I got something in the mail that I wasn't expecting until like next week. So it got here like super early.
Hmm.
And I did a stream on TikTok about it. But basically, you know how you're also into like comics and all that. I was explaining. Yeah, you were gonna say something.
Oh no, no, about the comics.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So you know how there's like what we would consider in the comic book world or like the collectible world, like a grail or like a holy grail, super extreme, like key issue, you know what I'm saying, within our
Y-
collection or whatever.
Yeah, the very hard ones to get.
Exactly. So what I received in the mail today is one of those grails that is part of that first year, 2016 Spider-Man and Deadpool first year run, and it's one of those issue number 3 variants that I didn't even know existed until like a few weeks back, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
So I did like an unboxing stream about it, and then I talked about how when it comes to comics and the like value and like sentimental value versus like market value, how sometimes even when the market says one thing, as far as like the value of it goes,
Yeah.
your personal emotional connection to that issue specifically sometime can surpass the market value because
Hmm.
at the end of the day, it's whatever it means to you as a collector. So even if the market says, oh, it's only worth like $10, but you haven't found any other issue out there being sold or whatever, right? And the person's trying to sell it for like, let's say $100,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, can you go lower? Is there any way of you going lower? And if the person's not willing to go lower and it's the only one out there, you know what I'm saying, being sold, you either got two options. You can just like buy it on the spot or like bid on it or whatever, or wait until hopefully at some point the price drops. But if you're like serious about like finishing your collection, more than likely if you have the money for it, you'll probably end up buying it 9 times out of 10, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
But aside from that, bro, I mean, nothing really crazy as far as today goes. Just happy to be alive, happy to have my family, happy to have a roof over my head, a pillow under my head. Um, and outside of that, we're just grateful to God.
Yeah, yeah, same here. You gotta be thankful every day. Yeah. Remember when I mentioned in your stream last night that I bought that Captain America book? I paid like $20 for it.
You see? I mean, and $20 for you and me as for like an important like issue for our collection, it's nothing. For somebody else that's not into that world or whatever, they see $20 for like a comic book, like, whoa, that's crazy. That's like really expensive. But
Yeah.
you and me both know that's nothing. That's nothing compared to what other people have paid for other issues, man. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's true. But I'm not sure if it went up in value because they kind of flaked out on his death.
Ah, got you, got you. Well, I
So
mean,
yeah, I don't know if it went up or not.
I think there's different platforms or website they you can like use or whatever to like monitor the the live, because you know how there's like one thing is to like a fixed value that's on the site, right? It'll say, oh, it's this and this for this issue, and the last one that was sold was whatever, like last week for this much, right?
Yeah.
But then you have other websites or apps that do like a real time, tracking of like what's going on in the market. So once I figure out what's one of them called, I'll let you know.
Okay,
So
nice. Um, all right. How about if, we start from the beginning with you, if you don't mind?
yeah, no, I'm an open book, man. I mean, um I was born and raised the first 4 or 5 years of my life in Puerto Rico. I was born in the town of Bayamon. Bayamon, that's Bayamon,
Hmm.
Puerto Rico. And for the first 4 or 5 years of my life, pretty much we lived in my grandparents' house from my mom's side. Um, my mom's side of the family, they've lived like pretty much all their life in PR. There was a moment of time where they did live, I think in like, if I'm not mistaken, New Jersey.
Okay.
Um, but that wasn't really long lived. That was just like for like a short season of their life. So the for majority part of their life is basically in Bayamon. And I grew up in my grandparents' house from my mom's side. Um, and then around like 5 years of age or so, we came out to the States. Um, Sometimes I'd be forgetting the order because we moved around quite a bit when I was young.
Hmm.
But all I'm gonna say is for the more majority, it was basically around like Florida, like Kissimmee, Orlando, West Palm Beach, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Um, and we grew up pretty much over here in the States up until I was like 12 years old. Um, and then 12 years old came around. That was around like 2000, 2001 ish. We went back to PR and pretty much we lived there, but we would visit the States every year or two in between. So that means that we would still have communication and connection with like my cousins, Geeko. You already know him from like the Vision Eye View TV channel.
Yep.
And that side of the family, we kept in touch pretty much throughout those years. So that's why a lot of people hear me talk and they're like, man, ain't no way you like a real like Puerto Rican because you don't have no accent or whatever. I'm like, listen, man, when when you can live and grow up wherever, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, what's really gonna happen is like what's being spoken inside that house.
Hmm.
So, for example, when we were living over here, right, from like
Yeah.
ages 4 or 5 to like 12 years old, we would talk Spanish inside the house, right, to never lose the habit, right.
Yeah.
But outside the house it was obviously English because everybody outside would talk English. So the same thing would happen vice versa in PR. Inside the house, we would talk to each other in English to never lose the habit, and then outside the house, it was in Spanish with everybody. So that's why I don't have an accent and nothing like that. I could fake an accent if I really wanted to, but I don't have that natural strong like Hispanic accent. And even when I talk Spanish, you won't hear an English accent when I talk in Spanish either. So it's weird, but it's just I guess my brain or our brain just adapted to like switching that on and off button as far as like the language stuff goes. Um, so my family from my mom's side, you have like my grandfather, my mom's dad,
Yeah.
pretty much a carpenter, a person that works with his hands, basically construction, all that stuff. My grandmother, she's like that poetic type. So she would always be like writing poetry, writing songs. She used to record music back in the day.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, if I find a cassette tape, because that's what she had as a cassette tape, I'm gonna try to show it to y'all one day. But she has a very lovely voice. Even to this day, she can still sing. And she still writes poetry. So that's where I get like my artistic side from, I guess.
Yeah.
The whole like write, even though I don't really write that much anymore nowadays, but back when I used to write a lot, like poetry and songs, I would assume it comes from that side of the family.
Hmm.
And then from my dad's side, um, my grandfather from my dad's side, he used to be like an athlete. He used to do like running, boxing, fighting, all this other stuff. So of course, from like my dad's side of the family, everyone was like really into sports, whether it be basketball, boxing, baseball, you name it. So I guess that's where I get like my athletic side from. I'm really big on like lifting weights, bodybuilding to a certain extent,
Yeah.
basketball, football. Um, I kind of dabbled into boxing a little bit with my grandfather before he passed away, but never really like dived into it as much as he wanted me to or whatever.
Hmm.
But it's I respect the sport. I'm not a huge fan of it, especially now that
Yeah.
he's gone. But I respect the sport, and I guess from that side of the family, I have like my athletic side and also the music side because my dad, he was a musician slash singer, songwriter. So was my grandmother from his side. All his brothers are musicians. They all play bass, guitar, drums, piano, you name it. So I guess musically, from that side of the family, that's where I get that part from. Um, what else, man? I've been working since I was like 11, 12 years old up until like nowadays. So as far as like uh the working side of my life. I know what that's all about from at an early age. Did everything from owning like my own candy store to working fast food to working security, graveyard shifts, to working at a college, uh, to working at a music studio for a while. You already know this, but I was TSA at the Sanford Airport for like 4 years. I did the Amazon thing. I did cart pushing for like over a year, and what is likely to be one of the hottest recorded summers in Florida history. So I was doing cart pushing that year. Um, what else, man? I've done retail. I've done, working cash register at a bookstore. Anything you can think of, basically, as far as like work related stuff goes, I've done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From a very early age until like now. Um, I'm a very artsy guy. You already know this. I love,
Yeah.
you know, well, I can't say I love because I haven't done it as much as in a while, but I enjoy drawing, coloring, admiring art. Um, I'm seeing some of the comments now. Because I'm trying to focus on the conversation, but I do want to address some of the comments that I'm seeing now, real quick. I don't want to take too much time doing that.
That's
But
all.
Chris from What's Your Story? What's up?
I see
Um,
some familiar faces in here.
yeah, exactly.
Like, you recognize that,
Oh, of
Emily?
course, of course.
Uh,
Of course, brother Red, and of course Ryan from MVCap, and the lovely, beautiful Emily Rose.
yeah.
I
Thank you everyone for joining here tonight. Appreciate it.
but back to the conversation. I'm someone who I'm just grateful for life, bro. I'm someone who every day I thank our Heavenly Father. Because without him we wouldn't have life, we wouldn't have health, we wouldn't have family, we wouldn't have somewhere to call home. uh we wouldn't have our good health, because as bad as other people have it, because there's some people out there who have it worse than us, right?
Yeah, it's true.
And but that's the thing though, like, the way I look at it is, no matter how bad I think I have it, there's always someone doing, like, I'm saying, like, having a worse time than I am. Whether it be scarcity of food, maybe they don't have a place to, like, call home, maybe they don't have a family that looks out for them, maybe they don't have a house, maybe they don't have a bed, pillow. These are all things to consider every single day you wake up and open your eyes. These are things to be grateful for that a lot of people take for granted. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So I'm just a grateful person altogether. I'm someone who used to be really active in the church back when I
Mhm.
was on the island. Over here, I can't say that I'm active, but um, I'm not. I haven't strayed away from my faith either. My faith has remained the same. The only thing that has changed is basically I haven't really felt at home yet at any church that I visit. So it kind of makes it hard for me to, like, stay active again. And I was talking about this with someone very special last night. I was letting them know, like, hey, I am trying. I'm trying to kind of like be active in the gospel, like in the church. But it's hard when you don't find that connection of like, oh, this feels like home to me again.
Yeah.
Um, and it's something that I'm fighting through, and I'm trying to like find my way through and just kind of like beat it mentally and just kind of like do what I know I can do.
Like find
Um,
your own purpose in a way.
I wouldn't say. I mean, in a way, yeah, in a way, it does have to do with my purpose. But even outside of the purpose that I know God has like with me,
Yeah.
there's just things you could do to keep your spiritual faith, health alive, or like spiritual health, healthy. And
Yeah.
and it's something that I know that I would be getting the most out of it if I were active in church. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I don't if there's anything else that you want me to like kind of like go over.
Um, the whole thing about God, like how we all believe in Him, like how should I say this exactly? Like our basically our purpose in life, why we're here, and all that stuff. If you want to touch more on that.
Oh yeah, man. So here's the thing, and this is something that I had to learn the hard way through time and through personal experiences.
Hmm.
Um, the best years of my life, and this is why I was bringing up what I just brought up a minute ago. The best years of my life were spent serving the Lord.
Yeah.
Um, that goes anywhere between playing the drums in the worship team
Hmm.
to preaching because I used to preach back in the day. Um, giving Bible studies, giving what do you call it? I forget the name in English, but basically it's like a workshop type of thing. There's another word for it, but seminars.
Yeah. So.
These are all things that I used to do,
Hmm.
and when I used to do them, I felt the fullest. Like that, it's like a season in my life that if God, I'll put it to you this way: if God were to ask me, and say, "Hey, um, JDQ, I'll grant you uh, one miracle right now, but it has to do with what time of your life would you like to like go back to, right?" I
Yeah.
would I would say without a shadow of a doubt, take me back to those days where I used to serve you wholeheartedly, with no restraints, no limits, just kind of like just it was all about you. It was all about the gospel. It was all about sharing the faith. It was all about singing my lungs out for you, playing the drums out for you, teaching, preaching. These are all things that made me the happiest. Made me the happiest, made me feel the fullest. Um, that's my personal experience with the faith, right? With the gospel of Jesus Christ,
Hmm.
the God of the Bible, uh, Jehovah, Yahweh, however you want to like call him. We know who he is, and he knows that we know who he is.
Yeah.
But I can't pretend that just because that was my experience and it was a great experience,
Yeah.
um, I can't pretend that everyone out there in the world has had the same experience or believes in the same God I do, or you know what I'm saying, had a good experience in the church, because the reality is, sadly, there's people out there in the world who have had bad experiences within the church, whether
Sure.
it be Pentecostal or Catholic or Baptist, whatever denomination you can think of that involves Christ as like the center of the faith.
Yeah.
There's been X amount of experiences, and not necessarily, what I'm saying, they're all good. Sadly, there's moments where either the pastor of the church wasn't called to pastor, and that leads to a bunch of, what I'm saying, downhill repercussions.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes there's agents from the enemy that infiltrate the churches and do evil things to brothers and sisters in the church and cause confusion and division amongst the church, and also causes more negative repercussions. Um, so many things can happen because at the end of the day, we're all human.
Hmm.
And a lot of people focus on the human side of things instead of like focusing on God and keeping their eyes on God.
Yeah.
um, that they become disgruntled, they become emotionally affected, they become confused, they become not trusting of the church or the faith in general. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening is that I could sit here and talk to anyone and everyone about my great, awesome, amazing experience within the church and in my faith, but for every one person like me that has that great, awesome, amazing, beautiful, fantastic experience, there's like maybe like five that had like the worst experience. Like, oh no, like don't talk to me about church because they did this, and this.
Mhm.
Um, so it's hard, you know what I'm saying? I try to be very careful when it comes to sharing my faith. I'm not afraid to do it because obviously I'm talking about it right here, right now. I'm not scared to do it.
Yeah.
Um, but I try to do my best to be as understanding as I can to other people who have maybe not had the best experience within the church. And it brings me to my next thing. Um, the meaning of life, it's in the word of God. It says it right in the Bible. And there's people out there on eBay selling the answer to the purpose of life for like $1 billion or something like that. You could go search this up. Someone was trying to sell the answer of the purpose or the meaning of life for like $1 billion, something like that, a few years ago. Um,
Unreal.
but if we pay attention and read closely in the word of God, it states our purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's very simple. Our purpose is so simple and yet so beautiful that, you know what I'm saying? Like once you really like read that part and you're like, dang, that's what it is. Like that's how simple it is. Yeah, that's how simple it is. The problem is that we make it hard on ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Because we allow life to get in the way of the most beautiful things that God has to offer for our lives, right? But to answer the question, I forget. I have to look and see what book and chapter and verse. But there's a verse in the Bible that states that the meaning or purpose of life is for mankind to worship God. Like
Yeah.
it's that simple, man. Is it because and here's the thing. People will always like confuse. Well, hold on, let me read what Emily said. Um she says it's sad because people who are new to the faith walk away, not understanding yet that those people didn't bear the right fruits and those people didn't represent God's true love. Exactly. That's exactly right. And just a quick reminder for all y'all. Penny says, God knows your heart. You can live your life as an example of your daily life and the way you act amongst others. This is still, and that's an example of bearing fruits. Penny, what you just said is basically like a summarized thing of what Emily was saying. Like when you live your life as God wants you to live your life, as God asks you to live your life, not as what we think we should be doing, or like, oh, this is I'm going to be a good person and that's it. No, no, no. We got to
Yeah.
be doing what Christ and God asks from us in his word. And if we're doing that and we're living our life that way, that will always show the fruits that we're bearing. And if those
Mhm.
fruits are from the Lord, then you know what I'm saying, we're doing the right thing. But um a lot of people need to understand this. So, and this is something that I've talked in the past and I've brought up in the second channel. And as soon as I say the word, some of you are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I've heard you say that a million times." But it's something so important, yo. Discernment. Discernment has been the word for me these last 2 years, actually 3 years, if I'm counting, But these past 3 years, the word discernment has become like life because it's through spiritual discernment that you can weed out evil mindsets or mindsets that were sent by the enemy. What do I mean by this? Well, what I mean by this is what I said earlier. The enemy, he wants to cause division amongst God people, right?
Yeah.
So what he does is he thinks he's slick, but I mean sometimes he gets away with it because there is no discernment within a church. But when there is discernment, you know, he can only do so much. But what he does, I think if Tatiana, next time Alex comes to your area, I send a gift with him for you. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's well received in advance. I'm gonna try to read that verse. Well, hold on. I'll pull it up, but real quick, I just want to get this out the way so I don't forget. But let me Jeremiah. You mean Jeremiah 29:11?
It should probably meant Jeremiah 29:11.
Right. That's what I thought. Okay. Um, 29. Where are you? Uh, there we go. Okay. So okay. This is what happens. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. That's actually, I think it's a verse that Emily shared recently. But what I was gonna say was the enemy loves to cause confusion within a congregation or a church or whatever. So what he does is he sends agents to cause confusion, right? And this is something that has been expressed and has been openly what do you call it, stated by like former Satanists or former witches or whatever that then afterwards have truly converted to Christ. But they'll openly state like, yeah, there's been moments where some of us would infiltrate a church and cause confusion amongst the congregation and cause division amongst them until there's nothing left of the church. So, you know, discernment is that one weapon spiritually that would help anyone and everyone who's of the faith to weed out people like that so that
Hmm.
stuff like that doesn't happen. But if we're not actively looking for that spiritual discernment and looking for God to grant us and open our eyes spiritually to see stuff like that, then you know what I'm saying, is you won't be able to like really catch it, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if I made myself clear from like your question from
Well,
earlier, but yeah.
yeah, you basically did. Like a lot of us, or I should say a lot of us, some of us still don't believe in God, for some reason. I don't know why they don't. Maybe they lost faith, you know.
Well, let me
Like,
ask you this: are you one of those people who has lost faith, or
no, no, I believe in them
okay,
because I'm here.
okay,
I'm here for a reason, you know. Because I've had my back against the wall so many times in life, you know, and I'm here for a reason. So that tells me something right there, you know.
the reason why I asked you was well, there's two reasons: is to confirm what my assumption was, which was I was correct, and then number two, to kind of like audibly, you know what I'm saying, be a testimony for other people that there's a reason why you personally haven't lost your faith. There's a reason why I haven't personally lost my faith. There's a reason why Emily Rose hasn't lost her faith. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I could go on mentioning a bunch of people who have gone through, like you said, been pinned against the wall, have had like uphill battles, right? That seem like never ending, and still choose because it's an option, bro. It's a decision, it's an option, it's a choice to hold on to your faith or let it go, right?
yeah,
Um, I'm gonna give like a quick testimony, and then hopefully it serves its purpose, and hopefully some of you guys get something out of it. But I'll give you a great example. A bunch of years ago, early 2002, 2003, when we were living in PR, and we were living up in the mountainside, in my grandparents' side, from my dad's side.
hmm,
Um, we would have this commute from up in the mountains and up until, I mean, down into like the cities, right?
yeah,
And one night, there was like a huge like rainstorm happening, right?
hmm,
Um, there's basically like no lights going down the mountainside, right?
Yeah.
You all you really have is your headlights and the other cars' headlights and all that. But as far as like lighting on the roads go, there's like nothing there. So it was dark-ish. It was obviously it was wet, slippery, so on and so forth. And it was my grandparents and my my grandparents, my mom, no, my grandparents, and me and my sister in one car, and then it had a second car, which had my parents and my brother. Okay,
Hmm.
now my sister and me were with our grandparents, and we get home or whatever. Next thing you know, we get this phone call from the police hours later. Okay, and we were like, "Yo, this is weird." Like we tried calling like my parents, wouldn't pick up the phone a bunch of times. So but we were just like, "Oh, maybe there's no signal or whatever." And then we get the phone call from like the cops and the police and all that telling us, "Hey, um, we're just calling on behalf of like your family members or whatever. We just found them like 100 feet like down the mountainside, and the car was like completely totaled." And so when we hear that, obviously, you know what I'm saying, as a human being, we were like, "They died?" Like, we were, like, in shock. We
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like someone tells you, like, "Hey," if someone would tell you, like, "Hey, yeah, we found, so and so with, a sword through their body," like, what would you expect or assume right away? That they died,
That
right?
person. Yeah, that person's dead.
Exactly. So, we're over here at my grandparents' house like, "Yo, like, so they died?" And the cop over the phone, he's like, "Actually, there's not a scratch on them." There's
Yeah.
there's, like, absolutely, like, nothing. There's no blood, no scratches, no fractured body parts, no sprained body parts. They're perfectly fine. But
Hmm.
he said it so, he said it like he was shocked himself. Like, he was like, "I don't know how this happened and how is this possible, but yeah, if they're the people that were in that car that went 100 feet down mountainside and that car was totaled pretty much, total loss, and they're the people from that car. This is like beyond one of the greatest miracles I've seen in years." So basically, that's what happened is God, they all went down the mountainside with the car. Like they really did. And
Hmm.
they had to pretty much crawl their way out of the car and up mountainside.
My
But
God.
the hand of God was with them, you know what I'm saying, protecting them. Now,
Yeah.
I say this story and I say this testimony, and you and me can recognize it right away as a miracle, right? And as God
Absolutely.
having his protective hand over them. But then you'll have people that they'll treat God like a genie. And so they'll be like, "Oh, that's cool that that happened for your family, but what happened with so and so from my family that God allowed him to die in this way or that way or whatever?"
Hmm.
Like, to those people, all I can say is that there's mysteries of God that we might not have the answers to here in life and on earth, but I'm sure at some point in the afterlife it will be explained to us as to like why that person went that way or why this other person went the other way and ended up how they did. But these are mysteries of God that I'm not going to have the answer to. You're not going to have the answer to. Only He will have the answer to it. And our job is not to like question God, like why,
Yeah.
but for what? What purpose does this serve? Like, what, you know, if you allow this to happen, what do you want me to do? What do you need me to do to follow whatever purpose you have with allowing this to happen the way it did? You know
To
what I'm
better
saying?
ourselves.
Exactly. But that's how you and me see it.
Yeah.
There's people who have a hard time looking at it that way. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um Oh, here we go. Ezekiel says, "Do you think it's good or bad to push faith on children?" So, I'm gonna tell y'all my experience. Okay, so faith wasn't pushed on me. I grew up in the faith, but there came a moment in time in my life where my parents said, "Listen, we're getting ready for church. We're going to church. We're gonna let you decide what you want to do. If you want to stay here at home or whatever, or if you want to come with us, whatever. We're gonna leave that up to you. But whatever you decide to do, you know what I'm saying? Just it's that's your personal decision."
Yeah.
And me being someone who has had, like I said earlier, a great experience in church and in my faith, I personally was like, nah, man, I'm gonna go. Like, what really other better place is there to be except for the house of the Lord? And I said that genuinely because that's how I felt, and that's still how I feel nowadays. So, yeah, never push or impose your faith on your children, but obviously, raise them up in the faith. And you know, kids have stages. Children have stages of life and seasons of life, and obviously, the best and healthiest thing to do in those first seasons of their life
Hmm.
is to present them, you know what I'm saying, to the faith. Like,
Yeah.
show them what the faith is about, show them what the gospel is about, show them what God's about, and teach them in the ways of the Lord. But when it gets to that point where that child becomes whatever, a teenager or something like that, allow them, give them their space to decide for themselves, whether or whether not the experience that they've had thus far in the faith is something that they want to pursue. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But we all gotta have. I don't have no kids, but when I do have my kids, yeah, I will bring them up and raise them in the Lord the first years of their life, because what I'm saying, there's nothing better than that. But when the moment comes where I tell them, hey, um, you know, I've taught you who God is, I've taught you the Word of God, I've taught you what the gospel's about, I've taught you, how Christ was born, died, and resurrected for you and me.
Hmm.
Now I'm gonna leave moving forward. I'm gonna leave it up to you whether God has been good enough to you, or your experience up until now, you deem worthy of continuing to pursue. I'm gonna leave that up to you. I'm not gonna get involved with that. Um,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying, neither here nor there. Um,
It's something that, like, I myself had to figure out on my own, you know, and it may
and
take a long time. It may take a short period of time,
exactly,
there's
exactly.
no telling.
Uh,
Ryan's comment.
say that last thing.
Ryan's comment right there.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now. Ryan's saying, I think of God as a quantity to describe the size of the universe, which is us because of non duality. So, um, as far as that goes, everybody needs to have their own personal experience with the Lord. Everybody has to have their own personal experience with their Maker. Um, you reading, and I'm not talking to Ryan specifically. I'm saying, like, in general, for people who like to read books and are very intellectual and like to dabble into information or whatever. um you can read all the books in the world of, what I'm saying, who God is and all this other stuff, but if you don't ask God for direction and tell him, hey, um God, what I'm saying, whoever you are, whoever you truly are, if you are the God of the Bible, then, what I'm saying, let you be true and every man a liar, right? But
Hmm.
lead me towards where you want me to go. Lead me towards, like, whatever path you want me to take. And this is something, obviously, I would recommend doing it in the privacy of your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because I do, my personal opinion and belief is that, what I'm saying, the enemy and his minions are always listening you know what I'm saying, to our prayers the same way that God's listening to our prayers. So when you say a prayer out loud or whatever, obviously, you know what I'm saying, like if you're really looking for intimacy with the Lord as far as like communication goes, he's always going to answer, whether it be with an audible answer or a silent answer. He's always going to answer regardless. However, because the enemy and his minions are always listening, they will try to, you know what I'm saying, use what you're praying for against you. You know what I'm saying? And that's where sometimes you'll have people that pray what I just told you and ask God for guidance. And but then you'll have like stuff thrown at them like, oh, try this religion out or try the other religion out. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But that's why I recommend for something like that specific and for something that delicate, I would probably make that prayer like up here, you know what I'm saying, in secrecy and
Hmm.
in confidence with the Lord. Um, and just wait for that direction that only God will provide. Um,
Yeah, I do something similar to that. Like, I, I, I think I told you this before. Like, I caught myself a few times when I talk to him. I look up, you know.
yep, yep.
I
That
found
I do
myself
that from
doing
time to time too. Yeah.
and I prefer doing that because, like, I just find it easier, you know.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. And by the way, love and blessings to all you guys. Kodiak, I've known you since like 2 years already. Veronica, Penny, what you said a few minutes ago. That's actually a minute ago. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Um, because of my personal personal belief in certain things, I mean, I don't know. Would you allow me to state something that I believe in? You know what I'm saying? If it's okay with you, that way
Yeah, go,
people know where I'm
go ahead.
coming from.
Yeah, go ahead. You know.
So I'm gonna rephrase something because I mean, the reason why I'm rephrasing it is because it's the reason why I believe in it. But I'm what some people would call a flat earther, right? But I don't like calling myself a flat earther. I like calling myself a biblical cosmologist because
Okay.
the Bible might not say that hey, the earth is flat, like flat out, you know what I'm saying, in typing or whatever.
Hmm.
But throughout the Bible, throughout the Word of God, if you really study it carefully, you know what I'm saying, carefully, and you look to what it says and how it describes the earth and how it describes, you know what I'm saying, the foundations and all that, it does describe a flat earth. So therefore, I believe that the earth is flat-ish, right? A flat plane, if you will, because the Bible describes it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why am I bringing this up? The reason why I'm bringing this up is because, you know, again, like I said earlier, there's only so much that you can get out of reading different books about, you know what I'm saying, information that has to do with God or the faith and all that. But until you really dive deep into the scriptures and ask God for direction, right? You
Hmm.
won't really have that strong sense of direction. And the reason why you like pray, like looking up, right, is the same reason I believe like in a biblical flat earth, because I believe God is above us. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
He is above us,
Yeah.
and he's above the dome. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And if it wasn't so, then if the earth were spinning at the thousands of miles that they say that it is, we would be going like this, like what direction is God? Like where do I pray? You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
because we believe God is right above us, we have that confidence and just going like this, God, you know what I'm saying, and start talking to him like that because we're aware that he's right above. He's not too far away. He's not millions of miles away. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not in my opinion, at least.
Uh, I would agree with you on that. Like, he is above us. He really is. You know.
And
Miss Triple X here, she's like, I grew up in the church, and it's so hard to keep faith when there's so much hatred and pain in this world. How could God let things happen to these children who are innocent?
So that's very well. I don't want to say it's very easy to answer, but there's a foundational truth to consider when reading that type of situation, right? And we're gonna go back to if you can highlight this comment from Emily Rose that she wrote earlier. Um, at
Mhm.
8:39 p.m., she wrote, "We have to remember who the prince of the air is on earth, Satan. Who is the one that kills, steals, and destroys? Satan. Jeremiah 29:11 states the Lord promises to prosper us and not to harm us." So the reason why God allows that to happen is because we got to remember that, sadly, Satan was given a certain type of a level of authority um, on the earth. And when the devil has a certain extent to an authority on the earth and rules the rulers basically, right? And has his people of influence and people in power and all that, it's going to lead to death, sickness, uh, poor, hunger across the earth. Not because God wants it that way, but because of free will that man has, and sadly, a lot of human beings that are in power and have that free will are exercising it, doing those evil things. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't blame it on God. Blame it on the people who allow themselves to be used by Satan. Let me say
Mhm.
that again. When you think about why does God allow all this stuff to happen to children and hunger and pain and blah blah blah? No, don't think why is God allowing it? Ask yourself again, why are people allowing themselves to be used by the devil? Why are people allowing themselves to be vessels of Satan? That's the question to ask.
Um, I would say it's because they're easily manipulated, I guess, if that's the right word.
So, this is a conversation that I have with my cousin Kiko every now and then, and he says the same thing that you just said, and I tell him, yeah, people are easily manipulated because people are people of instant gratitude. People like to have accommodations, blessings, wealth, riches, fame, power, influence, authority, in a very instantaneous way, like in a very microwavable way. So again, it boils down to people in power allowing these things to happen because that's how they gain more power, more
Yeah.
influence, more
Mhm.
authority. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
uh,
Penny's comment right there. It makes sense what you said too.
is that why we are to wear a shield of armor? Yeah, we're first of all we're told to wear the whole armor of God. And sadly, I'm not a theologian that can quote scripture verse by verse, but it does talk about the helmet of salvation, the chest plate of faith, I think, and it goes on stating other armors of spiritual warfare because that's what it's really about, spiritual warfare. These are things that we are wearing in the spirit to protect and prepare ourselves for spiritual warfare on a daily basis. We're called to prepare ourselves. This is crazy, man. You know how crazy. Listen to this, okay? Listen to this.
Okay.
When you join the army, when you join the navy, when you join Air Force, Marines, whatever military branch you can think of, right?
Hmm.
And they say, "Oh, suit up. You go into war, right?
Yeah.
You suit up, boom, you go to war, and sometimes that war is so random. Sometimes it'll last like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever, right?
Hmm.
But then when the war is done, you know what I'm saying? You come back home or whatever, and you're still wearing sometimes, not every day, but sometimes you're wearing those same like war type like uniforms. Now, what do I mean by this? I don't mean you're geared up from head to toe with like weaponry as if you were in a war, but you have a very similar uniform that represents that equivalent to what you would be wearing while you're in war. Okay. And you're wearing that, you know what I'm saying, when you're on duty. You don't, but you're not wearing it all day, every day. You're wearing it
Hmm.
when you're on duty, okay? When you're active on duty. A Christian or a person of faith is called to wear the armor every day of their life until their last breath. We are called to wear our armor, our spiritual armor. So that means that in spiritual warfare, we're at war every single day of our lives, bro. There's no break. There's absolutely no break in spiritual warfare. If we're wearing our the armor that God talks about in the word every single day, because again, we're called to wear it every single day. You know what I'm saying? The moment you take one of those things off in spiritual warfare, you're done for. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're doomed, you know what I'm saying, necessarily, and that's it for you. I'm saying the enemy can do some serious damage if you take one of those things off, you know? Have to remain prayerful over these children for real. Yeah, that's all you can do is bring them up in the Lord and pray for them. And let me just say this: when I say pray, a lot of people, and I understand because I went through a season where I was doing the same thing. When I say prayer, people think of just like, like a few minutes, just like asking God prayer requests or whatever. And give me 1 second. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I want to thank everyone again for showing up here tonight. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Everything that JDQ has said so far, he's spot on.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. My bad, man.
No problem.
Um, I heard something. Oh, you were saying spot on about something, but
Oh, everything that you've been saying so far.
oh, I appreciate that, man. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. What I was gonna say was, let me see if I remember because I lost train of thought from because mom just got home right now.
Hmm.
Man, uh, man, lost my train of thought. I think it has something to do with the children.
Yeah. Emily's comment there.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, that's. Oh, okay. What I was explaining was people like to do these like superficial prayers and just kind of like have prayer requests and that's it.
Hmm.
A real prayer, and this is no offense to you, anyone in the live chat. I'm because I'm putting myself as an example as well. Okay, I don't want anyone to feel bad. I don't want to feel like anyone is like I'm trying to sound like I'm undermining how anyone prays because again, I've done this myself. So what I'm saying. If anything, I'll use myself as an example. But there's been times where I've done superficial prayers and be like, oh, God, protect my family, my father, my mom, give them good health, his situation, blah blah blah. But it stays like so superficial, and I don't. There was a season of my life where I didn't dive deep and really, really had an actual conversation with God. Because at the end of the day, that's what real, true prayer is having an actual communication and conversation with our creator. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not just us asking our prayer requests a list of things that we need to have done in our life. It's God, man, let me tell you what happened today, man. Even though I know you saw it happen, but let me tell you how it made me feel when this and this happened. This was crazy, blah, 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 blah. The same way you and me are talking right now, it's the
Yeah.
same way God hopes that we will talk to Him on a daily basis. I've heard of testimonies of people who have said stuff like, I don't even get dressed without talking to God about it first. You know how crazy that sounds to the regular human being? That someone does not not even wear a shirt that God doesn't tell them to wear. but that's how deep and serious of a connection they've made with their creator. Is they'll ask God, all right, I'm going out to uh the convention. God, what do you want me to wear? I'm gonna open up the closet. I'm gonna open up the drawers. I want you to pick my outfit for me. And you know what I'm saying? And God
Yeah.
tells the person, oh, wear that shirt, that pant, that. Now, whether or whether or not God is a fashion expert, I don't know. I would assume so for that person's sake. But you know what I'm saying? The depth of that person trusting God and making God part of his daily life like that is a huge example of how we should be living our life on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're
So
right.
when it comes to prayer, we have to dig deep. We have to dive deep and really have an actual conversation with the Lord, you know what I'm saying, about our day, about what asking God, what do you want for my life? What do you want me to look for when it comes to this, this, and this? You know, when it comes to partners, God, what type of partner, you know what I'm saying, should I be looking for? Like when it comes to finding a partner that you have for me. You know, as far as the job goes, where would I be useful, Lord? Where do you want to place me in a job or a career that where I will be useful and that you'll be using me to the fullest, and so on and so forth, you know?
Hmm.
And I'm sorry if I'm sounding like a little excitable or a little
Oh no,
what
you're passionate about it.
ooh, appreciate that, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ezekiel or Amish's comment there. He's like, I just finished watching Waukesha trial. How could a God let all those children be hurt and experience such horrific pain and suffering? Families seen family killed right in front of their eyes.
That goes back to what Emily expressed earlier. You know, it's not so much how could God allow it to happen, whether versus how could people allow themselves to be vessels of the enemy to allow that to happen. That's I want people to take that home with them, yo. Like I really want people to take that home with them for real. Um, it's not the question should not be why did God how could God allow this? And I'm trying to say this as respectful as I can say it, man, because I understand where the pain and concern is coming from.
Hmm.
But again, God is good. God is merciful. God is, you know what I'm saying, forgiving. God is graceful. God is so when you see something like that happen, don't ask, oh, how could God allow this? Because we all know that God gave us all down here free will. Okay. Keep that in
Hmm.
mind. The question should remain, how could people allow themselves to be manipulated and used as vessels of the enemy? That is the question to take home. Stop asking God, how could you allow this or why did you allow this? No, no, no. Don't put when it's something evil like that, God has the only thing that God has quote unquote to do with it is allowing it in the sense that, yeah, technically he could have stopped it. However, let's not forget that free will continues to be involved when it comes to all these evil deeds. So the question should remain, how could people allow themselves to be manipulated and used as vessels by the enemy to make that happen? Um,
Well said.
Parents that use the faith as punishment are so done wrong. Making a child kneel and say "also you" over and over should never be used as punishment. Yeah, I agree with that 1,000%. That's not something that I would tell anyone to do. That's just literally that pushing someone away from the faith and making them resent it, basically. Uh Penny says we're not to know the plan or the time we're to be born or died, but that we believe and have faith and trust. Blessings and love to you, and you are also loved as well. You are also loved. I think Kodiak said something earlier that she wants me to look at. I don't know. To Emily Rose's. Oi, JDQ, send my TT to Emily Rose. It's quicker. Give me a second. Hmm. Probably he will tell you. Oh, okay. All right. Blessings love to you too, Kodiak. But okay. Now I saw the other one, the private message my account. Okay. All right, I'm gonna see what that's about later because I'm terrible at multitasking, as you can see. Um, but yeah, man. What?
Hey, Christine.
Yeah. Uh, but driving. Christy's driving, but okay. Let me see if I can make your drive more pleasant. Yeah, this is Terrence and JDQ with the late night view. That's right. We're gonna put some sweet music in the background. That way, you have something amazing to listen to on your drive home. All right.
Nice. Very nice.
Every now and then I try to recreate the whole like radio station host persona thing, but I can never get it exactly how I want it. But it's somewhat close to it. So
It's pretty good. Nice.
oh man, you gotta have fun with it, man. You gotta have fun with it, right?
Yeah. Penny's calling. She says, I think that people forget in their pain or hard times that Saint is slamming and sneaking on into our lives instead of remembering that our Heavenly Father is almighty to speak, so to speak.
Um, I want to assume that instead of saint, you meant
Oh,
Satan in that
yeah,
phrase. Okay.
yeah, she meant that. Yeah, she misspelled that.
Yeah, but she would be correct in that sentence though. Um, what was that last one? Everything is a matter of attitude. Mm, but yeah. I don't know. That's those are my thoughts on that. I don't know if I explained myself in a clear, straightforward way. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, you have. Um, all right. I want to talk about your channel there. Not the Vision Eye View, but I want everyone to subscribe that. I think I still got the link pinned up somewhere, or not
Right.
pinned, but in the comments somewhere. Um, your JDQ channel. Um,
So yeah, yep.
yeah.
Any specific questions, or you want me to just kind of like go over the overview of the channel?
From the beginning, and how you teamed up with you basically did team up with Alex, didn't you?
Right, that's correct.
Yeah. So, but basically everything if you want to.
Yeah. Like I said it from the very beginning, I'm an open book when it comes to all that, and even sometimes in general. Uh, so that channel is has a weird history because if you really go through the history of the channel itself, too many people think Alex is him. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen as much today, but that used to happen a lot. So the history of the channel is really weird and but interesting. Okay, so this is what happened. Uh, a few years ago, I had one or two channels that I used to run from PR, and they were Christian channels. And once I moved here to the states, and I couldn't do a specific show that I used to do back home using those two channels, I created a new channel. And the purpose initially of that channel was, if you go back, scroll through like the first videos of the channel, I was working as TSA at the time. And at first, what I wanted the channel to be about was basically, giving like tips and advice on how to travel and to not have, problems with like the TSA or whatever. Um, but then I kind of like stopped creating content for a while. And then when the P word happened, right? Um,
Mhm.
I had a lot and a lot of free time on my hands, and I decided to revamp and restart the channel.
Yeah.
That's an interesting comment from Ryan. I'm gonna try to address it at another time or before I go, hopefully.
Yeah.
Um, so I revamped the channel and I kind of started doing different things. And the goal was to try out different things until I found like my niche or whatever. So I did everything from like unboxing videos. I did drawing videos. I did movie reviews, music review. Um, just kind of like doing different things and just kind of like trying to feel my way into like what would be like my niche.
Mhm.
And around the same time, I came across a lot of Chris Hansen videos.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling through the Chris Hansen videos, and I was like, man, I remember the show because when it had first came out years ago, I used to like watch it or whatever. And it was very interesting.
Yeah,
And
it was.
I also had a friend back home on the island that did go through child abuse. You know what I'm saying? So one of the reasons why the Chris Hansen show was near and dear to my heart was because my friend had gone through that. Um, and so obviously finding the Chris Hansen videos on YouTube, I was like binge watching. And when you binge watch a certain type of content, YouTube starts feeding you similar content or content really close to what you're watching. So that's how I ended up coming across like Alex's like first few videos or whatever that he used to do with like Cassidy and his friends and all that.
Yeah.
Um, it left a bad taste in my mouth at the moment because I saw the way they went about it. I saw the good that they were trying to do, but I couldn't get past like the way they were going about it. So
His old Chet Goldstein channel, you mean?
no, no, no. But it was even before that. Like,
Really?
yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know if he used the same name, but um, man, I'm talking about like you'd have to scroll all the way back to like the first few videos of like confronting Preds that he used to do with like Cassidy and other people. But I kept scrolling or whatever, and I found people like the R word, right? Uh,
Mhm.
and CC Unit. What's the other one? Uh,
PP Toronto?
which one?
PP Toronto?
Well,
Oh,
that was later on, but
Justin Payne?
Justin Payne. Man, there was another one, but anyways, I found a bunch of different channels that had to do with the same thing,
Mhm.
and so I started like looking into all these different content, and then I started to screen record some of the content of some of these catchers to like repost them on the channel and raise awareness of that channel. Kind of like free promotion for that channel without that person even knowing I was doing that. And that was the R word. And once the R word saw that I was doing that, he striked my channel because he was like, oh, um, you can't be like doing that because that's my content, blah blah blah, which led to a debacle between him and myself, which led to me wanting to interview some of these catchers just to kind of like get a better understanding as for them, as individuals, if they were in this movement for the right reasons. And that's how the whole me interviewing these catchers started. The first person or the first catcher that I interviewed was Polo, from here from Florida,
Mhm.
and I slowly worked my way up into interviewing other predator catchers of the community. Jay from PP Mass, the boys from Toronto. Well, not Toronto. Um, Ohio. The boys from Ohio. I interviewed Ghost from CC Unit. I interviewed Alex. I interviewed oh, man, trying to remember. Oh, Michigan, and a few others, across the board of like the predator catching community,
Yeah.
because I wanted to, for my personal reasons and for the sake of the community, I wanted to make sure that number one, these catchers were in it for the right reasons, and number two, you know what I'm saying, like showing them to the community and people who don't even know about them, so that they get a feel for that person as an individual and have them make their own educated decision whether they're gonna, what I'm saying, support them or not or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point of that. And I say God bless you. Wait, what? I'm so okay. I'm that some of these comments have me confused.
Mm.
Oh yeah, yeah. He almost said you can't be doing that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Almost, almost, almost.
Oh,
I caught myself too quick. I was like, you just can't be doing that.
keep me doing that, my guy.
Ugh, God, now I hear that it's so gross. but but then you know what I'm saying. I kept doing, and the whole point after that, after I did like a bunch of interviews or whatever, the point of the channel for a long time was it was meant to be an equivalent to Sports Center, but of the predator catching community. That was the goal at one point.
Mhm.
But then uh, let's just say a certain person. I'm gonna try to a certain person that we all know and hold near and dear to us and love and support. Found himself in a pickle concerning some of his channels, and
We could say it's Alex.
we'll just, what I'm saying. I'm not saying that is him, but we'll
Yeah.
just use his name as an
Well,
example.
you know what? We'll just. Well, you know what? I could have said the big ginger man.
You could no, but for the sake of example, we'll just say it's Alex. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not really who it is,
Well,
but
I think the majority of people already know it's him.
well, this is just in case in the future. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll say Alex, but he he found himself in a pickle where he was limited to the platforms that he was being able to use at the time, and so that's where then shortly after we had a conversation, and I was like, let's make this happen to where you have another platform that you can keep doing what you're doing, you know what I'm saying, without any issues or troubles or fears of the channel being like banned or closed or whatever.
Mm.
So from that point forward, you know what I'm saying, we made that collaboration, and now that channel, your boy JDQ, is a shared channel, um, and because of personal reasons where I wanted to kind of like multitask and focus on working on some of like personal projects, like the second channel of like Vision Eye View TV.
Yeah.
I said it at a few times during some of the streams before, you know what I'm saying. But I have in a very strong way, kind of like not completely stepped away from that main channel, but I have largely stepped away um to focus on the second channel and other stuff that I got going on.
Yeah.
But also because and there's other people that will definitely agree with my statement here, but the predator catching supportive community is a very, I'll just say, interesting crowd. Um
A lot has changed.
a lot has changed, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that their heart is in the right place, as far as like supporting, what I'm saying, the movement of like, the Pete catching or Alex and CC unit and all these other people. Their heart is in the right place of supporting these channels. um but in my opinion, I want to say most of them are a younger crowd that I'm trying to be as polite and respectful as I can be, man, because I don't like calling people certain things, but let's just say that because they're from a younger generation and younger crowd, they behave a certain way that has turned me off. Like I've been kind of like, like a little turned off.
You kind
With
of soured on it in a way.
Yeah, yeah, because it's just, again, the behavior is so, I would just say childish. It's very childish in nature and is very ignorant in nature, and so it just doesn't make me feel welcome. You know what I mean? It doesn't make me feel welcome to be going on live a lot on the main channel.
Hmm.
Um, and so that's one of the reasons why I have largely kind of like stepped to the side from them. Now, don't get me wrong. If I really wanted to, I could get on that channel as much as I want. And technically, what I'm saying, that would benefit the channel in the sense that it would be leveled out. You know what I'm saying? And not a lot of flags will be raised against the channel, you see? And so it would be in favor for me to do that. The issue comes in where, again, because of the childish, ignorant behavior from the crowd, and it's a large portion of it, I don't feel welcome. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel, what I'm saying, cherished. And so it's like, why do I want to be somewhere where it's like I'm not well received? And I'm talking about the crowd, the audience per se, because if it were up to me and Alex, or Alex himself, again, I'd be on there 24/7. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
But because of, what I'm saying, the perception and the lack of receiving of the crowd, and me not feeling comfortable, I'm not on there as much. I continue to support the catching community from a distance in my own way. But as far as like being on that channel a lot, like I used to, that's some of my reasoning of why I've kind of like stepped away a little bit. But if you notice, I'll get on like once a week or something like that, or a few times throughout the week, just to like show face or whatever. But it's just not as it's not the same as it was from the beginning. You know.
Hmm. I can see what you're saying. As I said, a lot has changed within the last several months, and not for the better. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and like remember when I left? I left for 5 weeks almost because it wasn't the drama. It's just I don't know. It just had a lot on my plate, and you know some of it, as I told you before. But
You're correct.
I came back and I told John. I said I wasn't going to be as consistent as I was prior to before I left, and if anything, I'm kind of more involved now than ever. You know, but I don't mind that. You know,
Yep.
but I do agree with what you're saying though. It's a different crowd now. It really is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And like I don't. How do I say this? One of the reasons why I also choose to stay away or whatever is I believe in free speech, right?
Hmm.
I believe anyone at any given time could express themselves, what I'm saying, emotionally, mentally, whatever, right? I don't get in the way of anyone saying something a certain way. Um, and because I believe in free speech, and because I respect it, you know what I'm saying? If I were to put myself in that situation of going live frequently, um, and doing things, what I'm saying, like a certain way, I I would have to like prepare myself mentally to like just see a bunch of stuff that I don't want to see or don't care to see as far as like comments go.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, since I know that's gonna happen and I want to respect the people and free speech and them expressing themselves how they want, but I know they're gonna express themselves that way, I'm just gonna kind of like nip it in the bud in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? Um, and just like not get on as much. Or if I do get on, typically what I do nowadays, if I do get on, is I think I label it for children or something like that. Anytime I do a live,
Hmm.
just to kind of like avoid seeing any comments go through, and just be able to do a stream. You know what I'm saying, without really having to stress about seeing any ignorant like comments or whatever. That's part of the reason why I do it that way, because I want to respect people's like free speech, but I need to balance things out to where like I can get on, do a stream peacefully. You know what I'm saying? And just not have my mind or my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like having to scroll through like all these like comments that I respect them, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't care for them. I didn't ask for them. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
So that's why I do things the way I do them nowadays.
Twist says, "I wonder what change." I think he means with what's been going on. Just one word: drama.
I mean, yeah, for sure, drama, but also again the mentality and the behavior of a lot of these newer supporters that are on these channels now is just is gross. It really is just gross.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. I encourage free speech on my channel too, even when it's against me, and I respect that. I really do. I listen, Sabrina. Kudos to you and many blessings and respect to you, that you welcome it like the way you do. And at first I was doing that myself, and you know what I'm saying, I did my best to, like, not really like let it bother me or whatever, but it gets to the point where it's like, you know what I'm saying, is it gets to a point where, yeah, John saying it pretty well there. There's a line that shouldn't be crossed. um and there's it's one thing for me to respect everyone's opinion and the, free speech and all that, but like if I didn't ask, you know what I'm saying, like for your opinion on like, oh, like what are you doing here type of thing, it's like, bro, like what do you mean, what am I doing here? I'm like part owner of the channel, of course I'm going to be on here from time to time, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, thick skin for sure. So that's why, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna just pick my battles and just kind of like balance how I do the whole, how frequently I do the streams and how I go about doing them.
Yeah. Do you want to clarify on what Penny just said there? If you want to read that, or
She's saying, I'm curious to know if you are saying that we are wasting our money supporting Bill Gates. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Especially in Alex's case, that's not the case at all. At all, you're not in any way, shape, or form wasting money, because whatever you're like supporting with, whether it be $1, $5, whatever you're like sending, again, especially like to Alex, it really does go to gas money from, for the traveling that they do from wherever they're at to meet up with the P person, right? A staying house, you know what I'm saying, all these things that are pretty much factor in them doing what they got to do to catch these people. So in no way, shape, or form are you wasting your money, no.
yeah,
Maybe
oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, no, like it's for a great cause. When we
Right.
support the prey catchers or the decoys, for that matter,
Yeah.
it's for a great cause.
Sabrina said something that I was just gonna say, that it might be it might be the case for some specific, you know what I'm saying, the catchers, but you've already like seen who those are pretty much. But for the most part, it's for a good cause, and it's for them to, again, for them to be able to do what they need to do to catch these guys or these people, doing what they're doing towards our kids.
Yeah.
So it's never a waste of money.
Um, I want to talk about the catcher you won on earlier this year. How that come about?
Man, the one that the guy mistook me for Drake or whatever.
Yeah.
That It's funny, man. I have to double check and see because I know as far as like the computer stuff goes, I know I lost all that stuff sadly, but I have to double check on my phone. I think I was able to salvage some of like the personal recordings that I had of me recording the moment before the moment so that I could use it afterwards in the documentary that I was working on. But I saw the process that Alex and the team goes through. You know what I'm saying? Preparing the chat logs, organizing the chat logs, um, and pretty much like searching for this person that we were searching for, confirming that it's like the actual address. So many things that go into it, and it was a great experience for sure. And I honestly, if anyone at one point in time has the opportunity to witness this type of sting operation in person, you should definitely like do it. Um,
Yeah, like when you went on that catch though, like you always did you enjoy it actually, or like what
yeah,
was the
it was. Wait, why do you ask?
uh,
Did I not look
well,
like I enjoyed it?
yeah, like what was going through you like at that moment? Like, did you have some kind of like adrenaline rush or?
No. So this is what happened. So, and I think you're like the second person that asked me that question, and I know why you're asking. The demeanor that I had and like my face expressions and all that, my tone of voice. The only thing that was going on with me was because I was there to observe. You see what I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
why the demeanor that showed was what it was because I was there to study and like analyze the moment and like just kind of like take the moment in. And I was using it as a learning experience for myself just to see how he did things. And even though I had seen so many catch videos before that, but seeing them is one thing and being in the plays at the moment of the catch is another thing completely. So and no, Sabrina, I don't look like him. He looks like me, and he looks like a worse version of myself. So I'm the actual prime, you know what I'm saying, deluxe version of whatever you think he is. So just to clarify that for you. Um, no, but that's the reason why you saw me the way you saw me because I wasn't really like being myself. I was on learning mode. And when I'm in learning mode, I'm serious. I'm like focused. I'm, reading the body language of the person that we're talking to. I'm listening to Alex's questioning. I'm trying to figure out why he's questioning the way he's questioning. I'm trying to figure out what strategy he's using verbally to, what I'm saying, get the other person to admit to what he needs to admit to. So these are all things that were going through my mind at the moment. And therefore, me expressing myself the way I was. So,
Yeah, like what was it like when you met the chomo there? Like,
so he was a very interesting character. How do I say this? Oh my goodness, Lord forgive me. So, and I'm about to say this in the worst time possible because Rod just said no high school BS, but this is gonna sound like high school BS. Like, all right, you ever seen like sitcom shows or whatever, right? How they depict like a nerd or a geek or something, right?
yeah,
Let's say like Steve Urkel, which some people were calling him Steve Urkel, right?
yeah, I remember that. You did look like him.
And and I'm like, pretty much. And even then, Steve Urkel is even cooler than this guy because this guy was just like the epitome of what you think of when you think like a nerd. You know what I'm saying? A very awkward person, very antisocial person, very just awkward, bro. He was really awkward. And I could tell that both something mentally and something spiritually wasn't right with that dude. And it was just he was a very just awkward persona. The way I understand that he was scared, and that's part of the reason why he was acting the way he was acting. Um, however, even when you're scared, you have to get to a point where you kind of like, mm, and like own the moment. This guy, he was just straight up scared the entire time, and he was nervous the entire time, and he was extremely awkward the entire time because
Yeah,
of
he
him
was.
being scared, you know? So it was a very weird, strange, awkward experience due to him being extremely awkward. Had he been a little normal-ish, then maybe I could have seen myself being a little bit like myself, a natural, but
Hmm.
I was just being so studious and so observant of what the heck was going on with him that it just, yeah, he was just weird like that, bro.
Yeah, and he kept believing that you were Drake.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like I get it, and it was also kind of dark. So yeah, I can kind of see that working in my favor. But that same day, when I was arriving to the area, or before I meet it up with Alex,
Yeah.
kid you not, I parked my car. I get down from the car, and this small group of dudes, they were like already saying, "Holy crap, is that Drake? Yo, is that Drake over there?" I kid you not that this really happened. Like the moment I stepped foot outside my car to close it and like start walking towards the gas station where I met Alex, that's the
Hmm.
first thing that happened is a group of people confused me for Drake. So yeah, every time. Yeah, that's exactly right, Tatiana. That's exactly right.
Um, how did how did that come about though? Like Alex was in the area and he just contacted you to say, "Yeah, you want to tag along?"
No,
Or
no, he actually, and he does this often. He lets me know in advance, like, hey, nah, man, he's a your boy JDQ impersonator. I'll just leave it at that. Um, Alex, he tries to let me know in advance, if he's gonna be either in my state or somewhere where he deems close to my area within the state. So that day he was gonna be in Jacksonville, and for me, that's what I consider like a pretty far drive or whatever. Um, to him, it's nothing because I know to him, he drives days on end sometimes.
yeah.
So, but for me, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Any drive past half an hour is a journey for me. So that drive for me was like 3 hours or 3 hours and some change. So for me, it felt like an eternity. I was like, holy crap, Jacksonville or whatever. But he let me know in advance, like, hey, JDQ, from this day to this day, I'm gonna be in Jacksonville. So if you want to like meet up and hang out and be part of like one of the catches, we can do that, etc. And so I was like, yeah, man, screw it. Like I'll go down there. Like let's do it. Let's make it happen. And so that's how that specific day and catch came to be. He just let me know in advance that he was gonna be in that area. So
And was that the first time you ever met him, or?
that was the first time I had met him in person. Yes, that's the first time. That's why, and that stream that he did, that's where you see us at the gas station at a 7-Eleven, and he gives me this huge bear hug, which I think he's one of the few dudes that I have allowed to hug me in that way, just because I respect and love the guy that much. I'm like, yeah, man, go ahead, knock yourself out. And he gave me like this huge bear hug. And he was really happy. I was really happy. You know what I'm saying? We were all
And Pablo,
excited.
Pablo was extra happy.
Yeah, yeah, he was. He was. Yeah. I'd have to go back to that video and see the expressions that both of them made, Pablo and uh
Fredo?
yes, Fredo.
Yeah.
And because they were like recording the moment or whatever, or like, they were like streaming the moment, and I was just like, you know, this would be less awkward if we had a group hug. But but of course no one went for that because I didn't say it loud enough. I kind of kept it to myself. I was like, yeah, we should have done a group hug and make it less awkward for me, more awkward for you guys. But I saw their faces and they were excited, they were happy. They're all of them, like both of them, and of course Alex. They're all awesome people to be around. They're very humble, very nice,
Would you
very
say
well,
that? Oh, go ahead.
very well educated and respectful. But go ahead.
I was going to say, would you say they're humble like JDQ?
Well, if I didn't say that, then JDQ wouldn't be as humble. So I have to say yes, they're as humble as JDQ.
um, since you met Alex in person, what's he? Is he actually like that? Like what we see on his videos, or
Listen, man, this let me explain something to y'all, okay? Because a lot of people get offended with how he jokes around and how he's sarcastic all the time, right? On camera. That's
yeah,
just the way the brother is, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? He every now and then he cracks jokes on me. You know what I'm saying? And I because I know he's joking and I know he's messing with me and like playing around or whatever. Like I take it for what it is, a joke. You know what I'm saying? I don't take it personal. I don't get, you know what I'm saying, butthurt over it. Like I know he's joking, so that's what I take it as.
well,
Um,
well, you know what it is too is we need sense of humor.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's just his natural way of being, and that's his way of that's his sense of humor, and that's the way he jokes around. And I have come to understand it pretty much from the get go. From the first times that him and me talked over the phone, back
Yeah,
when like the R word and him were having the the whole drama situation. Uh, I understood immediately that that's just the way that's his natural sense of humor. And when you're in this type of world, you need to have a sense of humor because if it's all like serious, 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 and you don't find the humor in certain things, it might lead to a dark path, honestly, because the things that he has to see, you know what I'm saying, on his phone and the things he has to read on his phone is very disturbing stuff, as you know. So if you don't have a sense of humor to carry you through all this, you know what I'm saying, it could cause some mental emotional damage, even as a person that is confronting these guys. You know.
yeah. Like I first started watching almost 3 years ago now. I started watching Ghost, and
Mm-hmm.
I started binge watching a lot of his videos, and I came across one with Alex.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, I didn't like him. I didn't think he meshed well with Ghost. And
Mm-hmm.
then Alex had the Czech Olstein channel at the time. Oh, hang on a second. Look who's here.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I saw it. I just didn't want to interrupt you. But what's going on, Constantine? You
Hey,
gotta
Con.
let me know when we're gonna do that stream together. All right. Let me know in the DMs whenever you're ready.
Thanks for showing up, Constantine. Appreciate it. Um, yeah, he had the Czech Olstein channel, and so I started watching a lot of his videos, and I just became a fan. I just became a fan. He was funny, you know. Sure, he cut back on it because with YouTube and all that, but
Hmm.
I just became a fan. I said, "This guy's funny." You know, you know, it's a serious situation. We need like kind of sense of humor, you know. And I don't see nothing wrong with that, you know.
Again, for this type of in this type of world and community, whether it be on YouTube or in real life, humor, I see it as a way of protecting your brain, your mind, and your emotions from what likely might happen if you weren't as in control of them as you would like to be. So, if you're someone who gets angered easily or frustrated easily, and you don't use humor to your advantage in the sense that it'll kind of level your emotions out or whatever, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Then you're in trouble because it's not a good look, and it's happened before. Even um, I can't say can't use anyone as an example for the sake of respecting their, but it's happened before to some of these catchers where, you know what I'm saying, they'll be too serious about it and too, you know what I'm saying, and it'll bite them back in the butt, you know.
Yeah, it's true. But will you ever go on another catch with Alex if he ever asks? Or
So it's funny that you asked that. He was here a few weeks back, and he wasn't near. Well, he was again what he deemed to be close to my area, which I think was like still like a couple hours away. And he let me know in advance, like, hey, bro, what up, Bryden? God bless you, bro. He let me know in advance that he was gonna be like close to my area, and he asked me if I wanted to like go, you know what I'm saying, like meet up with him and the guys and like do a catch. But as luck would have it, or as my life would have it, um, those specific days, I had set out and promised my cousin that I was gonna help him clean out his garage and put stuff in his tool shed. So that took us, you know what I'm saying, around 2 days and some change.
yeah,
And it was literally those days that Alex was going to be here. So he does every now and then offer whenever he is in the state. He lets me know. He says, "Hey, just letting you know in advance, I'm going to be in such city in your state. So if you do want to tag along, let me know, and I'll give you the information or whatever." And he's cool like that. He'll invite me, you know what I'm saying, to go on the catches with him.
yeah,
It's always going to be up to like me to decide whether or not I'm able to or willing to like make the drive. Um, because 9 times out of 10, it's never in my city or in cities like nearby. It's always like in outer cities. You know what I'm saying, like an hour or two away. Um, so but yeah, like if he, I'll put it to you this way. Um, the closer he is to my area, whether it be like a city or two away, the more likely I would show up for a catch.
nice.
Um, Sabrina saying you got to seriously be careful of teams you collab with because some people don't vibe well together and some catchers have different approaches. Yeah, no, yeah, you'd be right. You'd be correct. Um,
Well, I would say you're an extended team member of Alex, actually.
who me?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's one way of looking at it. It depends what type of depth you would want to like give me as far as like team member goes, but yeah, you could say I'm somewhat of an extended team member for sure.
Well, yeah, like Alex only goes with people that he trusts, I think.
That is true. That is very true. I can see now what you meant by, yeah. In that case, yeah, that's very very true. I am someone that he calls every now and then. I can't say frequently but he does call me every now and then.
Hmm.
Whether it be just to talk or matters of the channel or matters of the catch or matters of the community. He'll stay in touch with me. Extended pickle family. so so in that sense, yeah, I guess I could deem myself an extended like team member for sure. Um, And it's funny, man, because no offense to you, Alex. Okay, no offense to you. I don't take this the wrong way. I mean this as a compliment in a way, okay? But for someone who looks slightly older than me, because he's taller and you know what I'm saying, more muscular, and he's got a better built beard than I do. Um, he I don't know how to explain it because he looks like he's older than me. Um, but you can still sense the respect that he has for me as far as like age goes. You know how they say respect your elders or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, with him, I've had the experience that I can sense and feel. You know what I'm saying? That respect that he has towards me in that sense. You know him. recognizing that I am older, and therefore, you know what I'm saying, there is some type of like level of respect that should be given, you know. But yeah, man, like I said earlier, he's very respectful. I mean, they all are. They were here in my house. They ate. My mom cooked for them or whatever, and they ate. And the whole time they were very respectful. They, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever people might think they are, like some people might think that they're him, mostly. They might think that he's like obnoxious or something, right?
Yeah.
Um, that wasn't my experience in any way, shape, or form, and it wasn't the experience that my parents had because my parents got a chance to like talk to him, like meet him, and all that. And all of us can vouch that he's very respectful. He's very well mannered when he's, you know what I'm saying, visiting and all that.
And he's
Um,
very understanding.
yeah, extremely understanding, extremely understanding. Um, I don't know, man. I don't have anything negative to say about my experiences with Alex or the team. It's all been good and positive. I wish a lot more people got to meet Alex in person, and got
I
to,
thought it was next month, but because he's coming over here to Canada.
bro. I need to go to Canada. You need to be my Airbnb whenever I go to Canada. But
Okay.
I need to figure out when I'm going. But I need to go over there now. Now that you say that.
Yeah, because the restrictions at the borders now have been lifted. So
Yeah, that's what Alice was telling me the other day too. Yeah.
yeah, so I thought he was going to cut through Detroit to come to Toronto or go to Toronto there, and he would have to come through my city. And unfortunately, he's going through Buffalo to go to Toronto there. So I'm unable to meet him. Unfortunately, he's Toronto's
This
such a huge city. I'm unable to pinpoint where he's going to be.
Nah, this is my personal plan. This is what I want to. I don't know how easy it is. I don't know how comfortable it is. I don't know how price wise it is. But what I want to do is I want to go to Washington State and be there for a few days, and then from there go to Canada for a few days. Um,
Hmm.
but I don't. I have never gone to Washington State. The only reason why I want to go there is honestly for Seattle, and I think I've told you that before. But I want to stay in Seattle for a few days. Um, visit some of the stuff. You know, they have like a pop art culture museum or whatever. Um, and they have a few comic book stores that I'm interested in like visiting just for the sake of like visiting comic book stores or whatever. Um, and ideally the Comic Con that they have there, the Emerald City Comic Con, but that's looking like it's not going to happen for a while. But
Oh, still,
I mean, I hope so too. But but the problem is, like every time I want to go to a Comic Con, this is gonna sound very. It's gonna sound like what's the word? It's gonna sound like I'm bougie or something like that. But
yeah.
it's just I I don't want to go to a Comic Con if I can't have the VIP experience. Okay. Like
Yeah.
it's not really, I mean, it's worth it, yeah. But it's not worth it in the sense like if I want to get like stuff signed, you know what I'm saying, or autographed or whatever, the only way to do that is if you have like a VIP pass or something similar. So it's like, man, I'm not going to the Comic Con just to be there and like look at people and maybe possibly buy a comic or two, or you know what I'm saying? Like I want the full experience, man. I don't want, but anyways, I digress.
Yeah, the Comic Con in our city got canceled again. I'm like,
how's that one called?
just the Winter Comic Con.
Oh,
It's been canceled the last few years because of the scamdemic.
I like that. It's the first time I hear that put that way, but I like that. That's good.
Yeah,
Oh,
but you know, I buy my books digitally, so
yeah, you told me that. You told me that, and
yeah. Some people, you know, kind of crap on that. Say, well, why can't you support your stores? I'm like, well, you gotta travel for that, you know. Personally, I find it easier for it digitally.
Mm-hmm.
You could buy it whenever, and actually, it's a lot cheaper.
It is. It is a lot cheaper. There's a reason for that.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think I'm paying American prices too.
oh well, I mean, even then, it's still more affordable than buying a physical copy.
Yeah. Tatiana says, meeting Alex in person is definitely an experience. He's very humble, sweet, and caring. He loves to laugh and joke, but he is kind.
He
And
is,
that's
man. And I told him this over the phone a few times already. And I told him, bro, if and whenever you decide to like run for a position, whether it be in office or whatever, I normally typically don't vote. I have my personal opinions and reasons why. But you know what I'm saying? Like if he were to run for something, I would definitely vote for him. Because I've gotten to know him in ways where I'm comfortable enough to say for me personally, I've got to know him well enough for me to make that type of decision. That's how I feel about him in that sense.
Yeah, like it sucks that I won't be able to meet him, but maybe hopefully, if he comes back next year.
Yeah, yeah. And when you do meet him, I mean, I hope he gives you the same bear hug he gave me, because it's really something to behold. You know.
Yeah,
And
like I'd love to meet him and Pablo and the team.
yeah, yeah, man. It's funny. I told Pablo the other day. I was like, "Hey, man," but because they used my car at one point, right? Pablo used my car,
Yeah.
and he obviously, what I'm saying, he connected his phone via Bluetooth on my car, and I have not erased anything like his phone, or Alex didn't use it. It was just Pablo, but
Mhm.
so he has his username on his phone a certain way. Um, Now I'll just say it says like Pablo Escobar. So I haven't erased that that phone off my car because of the memories that it holds, and I don't
Mhm.
want to ever erase his phone off my car because of it. But I'm
Yeah.
like, I jokingly told him, "Hey man, you gotta do something about that username, because if the police go looking and find me, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna assume right away because I'm Hispanic that somehow I have a connection to the real Pablo Escobar, and that's not right. It's not good. It's not a good look for me, you know.
Yeah.
Oh
Man, um, going back to the channel there for a minute, how long has it been now since you and Alex co-shared your channel?
man, that's a good question. And
Thanks.
to be honest, if I want to be accurate or whatever, I'll give you a ballpark estimate. It's got to have been already be we're almost in November. I want to say it's been well over a year, maybe like a year and a change of like months. I don't think it's reached 2 years yet, but it has been well over a year for sure. Um, but just to be now, because now you got me a little curious to be more exact.
Well,
There is a video. Go ahead.
yeah, it's when he lost his PP official channel, I believe.
Say that again.
I think he went to your channel when he lost his PP official channel. I think it was during the EDP catch.
Yeah, right around that time. That's basically, yeah, that's pretty much what got everything started for the collaboration. So if I go here to the channel and you go to the first video that pops up when you go to the main channel of your boy JDQ, the first one that's in your face, the first one that's like pretty much like smacks you in the face when you get there, it says explaining the Alex and JDQ team up, right?
Hmm.
And that it says a year ago. They don't have like what's the exact, July 1st, so of 2021. So from July to July, a year, August, September, October, a year and 3 months, basically.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, time does fly.
Oh yeah, man. Don't remind me. But yeah,
Yeah.
time does fly.
When you met Alex, was Bomb there or no?
She no, she wasn't. Well, actually, funny story. Funny story. So I'm at the gas station.
Hmm.
Alex stops by with the crew. We meet up. He hugs me. Blah blah blah. We're cracking jokes. Oh, I thought you were, you know what I'm saying, bigger. I thought you were shorter. I thought you were blah blah blah. As we're walking out of the gas station, I kid you, you cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. We're walking outside the gas station. All right, I'm about to start walking to my car, but then this car pulls up around us, and Bomb was there, and she was like, "What the hell? What what are you doing here? And what are you doing here?" And I was like, "No, what are you doing here?" And I know what I'm doing here. What are you doing? And then Alex was like, "No, what are you doing here?" It was like the Spider-Man like pointing thing where it's like all three of them are pointing to each other.
Oh yeah, I know that meme.
That's literally what happened in real life between Bomb, Alex, and me. We're like, what the hell's going on here?
Nice.
Oh man, you could not make it up, bro. It's exactly how it went down. And then of course, you know what I'm saying, they had their moment and I was like, oh my god, it's so beautiful, guys. Oh my goodness. I was crying, you know what I'm saying? Pablo was crying.
Well,
Um
Paul Lacroix, I'm not surprised by that.
he was like, it's so beautiful. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. But
Uh, Paul's a great guy. I like him.
he's a romantic for sure. Um,
Yeah.
so we were all like rooting for them or whatever. Like, oh my god, it's so cute, so beautiful. Like, how come I don't have something like this? It's goals, you know what I'm saying? Relationship goals, blah blah blah. And but yeah, you know, so that happened, and then we split ways. Then I went, you know, to the hotel where they were staying at. Um, and you know, they pretty much just like spent the night with them at that I don't even want to call it a hotel because really it was a smaller hotel, but yeah, spent the night with them, and then like at 5 or 6 something in the morning, Alex was already up and doing a stream, and I was like, "What in God's earth?" I thought I was not getting up this early today, and lo and behold, this dude like talking mad mad loud doing a stream.
Yeah, I don't think he sleeps that much.
It really doesn't, and people underestimate that. You know what I'm saying? They don't seem to know the sacrifices that he makes. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like whether it be his sleep or is it listen, if people truly knew what him and the team goes through, bro, they
Hmm.
would be more understanding of like okay, you know what I'm saying, as far as like helping them out in certain ways where they should be helped out. And they
Yeah,
might people might be
and they
more
do. They do travel the most.
they
They do.
travel a lot.
Yeah, they do.
A lot. And some obviously they'll take turns, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the smart way to do it.
Hmm.
But sometimes even when they do take turns, it's a lot for the human body, you know what I'm saying, to frequently do those types of drives. Hell, even truck drivers, you know what I'm saying? They're used to it, but you know what I'm saying? They get moments where they crash and not crash, but crash, you know what I'm saying? Like the physical body shuts down and has needs like a day or two to like rest, you know?
Hmm. Sabrina says you can't have predator poachers without beautiful bomb. Just wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's the other thing I was gonna say. Bomb is an amazing person. She is extremely smart, very intelligent. Um, she carries herself really well, not only in the live chat but in person as well.
Yeah,
Um,
she is.
her brother is an awesome person as well. They're lovely people. The baby girl, God bless her, and God always protect her and everything. A beautiful baby girl, and mom is just. I'll just say they they are both blessed to know each other and have each other in their lives. I'll just leave it at that.
And
But but mostly him.
They compliment each other well. They
They
really do.
do. They do.
But between the two of them, though, Alex is the funnier one.
I mean, is he though?
He is. He is.
I mean, listen, man. Like she has a the fact that she understands his sense of humor and vice versa.
Yeah.
I think it's cute, and I think it's stuff like that is hard to find. And but she's hilarious. Like when she's on her own, and like you know what I'm saying. If she's like in the live chat here, and
Yeah.
Alex is not present, she might
Mhm.
potentially be the funniest person in the live chat.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that.
But yeah,
Uh,
man, it's a good match.
it really is. Um, and Alex he's only 22. He already knows what he wants out of life. Like I'm impressed by that. It took me 20 years later, and I'm still trying to figure out. You know,
Yeah.
so the fact that this guy has his head on straight at that age is very impressive.
So the is interesting thing about Alex, and I think one of the reasons why he has his head on straight, as much as he does,
Yeah.
um, I think it has a lot to do with he had the opportunity because he was, you know what I'm saying, he was an athlete, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, he was given opportunities in the sense that most of us don't see or don't come across or don't even know. Um,
Yeah.
and so when you have opportunities like that, or the world, or your eyes are open to the world in different ways that the average person isn't open up to, then you kind of start figuring things out sooner, or you know what I'm saying, quicker than the average person. In his case, I think it was like a mix of that and his upbringing. You know what I'm saying, and of course, like his family and all that. I think has a lot to do with it as well. Um,
Yeah.
but I would agree. He's someone who understood or understands early on in life the things that matter. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, Having your own like piece of land potentially one day, having your things in order, finances in order, finding someone that will be a great match to help you carry on what you're already building. Um, and it's funny because I think I said this before, but I told him one time, bro, you've built a legacy that I respect and I'm proud of, and I want you to know that I'm proud that you've built that legacy. And I can't say it word by word or phrase, you know what I'm saying, exactly how he said it, but he said something along the lines of, like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, I have, I still have a lot more to accomplish. I haven't really, you know what I'm saying? The legacy that you're talking about, I'm still building that. Whereas I was saying you've built a legacy that I'm proud of, he was saying I'm still building it.
Okay,
So,
that's impressive that he said that.
oh yeah,
And the one thing that he has going, well, he's got many things going for him, but one thing in particular is that he has his age. He's still a young guy.
extremely young,
You know.
extremely, and I'll continue to say it. I'm extremely proud of him. And every now and then, when whether it be over the phone or through text messages or whatever, I'll let him know, bro, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really am, genuinely.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm proud of him too. We all are.
oh yeah,
We all are.
yeah. These are things to consider.
And I hope he keeps doing what he's doing for like for many more years, actually. Because if he leaves, if he leaves this behind, I think everything falls apart. I think everything collapses. I could be wrong, but
So I actually had a conversation with him about this too. I said the same thing. I told him, hey man, like I really hope you're one of the pioneers that stays for as long as you can. I know realistically you can't stay doing this forever because that's not realistic. Um,
mhm.
However, if you are able to stay on for as long as possible, whether that be 3 to 5 years from now or whatever, I think it would be good for the community, Because I know from here to that point in time, you would have gained so much knowledge, wisdom, experience on how to do all this that when it comes time to pass that information, knowledge, wisdom, and experience to somebody else, you can prepare that next person, you know what I'm saying? That you deem capable of carrying out your legacy. They would do you proud and the community, proud. So in my opinion, yeah, if he could do this for another 3 to 5 years, God bless him, and may God protect him,
Hmm.
and may God allow him to catch as many p words, you know what I'm saying, as possible. And but also, uh, God willing, he finds someone like a worthy successor to carry out the legacy. You know what I mean?
Well, I think we already know who that might be,
I mean,
and it's up to him if he wants to do it. You know who I'm talking about, right?
I'm thinking of one person, but I think you might be talking about somebody else. Tell me,
Pablo.
yeah. I thought you were gonna say either Pablo or Jesus, even though Jesus is more like behind the scenes and all that, but we never know. We never know, you know what I'm saying, what he could do if he's actually out in the field or whatever. But Pablo would be the quickest answer to that.
Hmm.
However, I don't know if Pablo would, I don't know if he would jump in and say yes in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not because he's not for the movement or for what the cause is. I think, I'm very aware he is for the cause and for the movement.
Oh yeah, he is.
But realistically, I think he's isn't Pablo slightly older than Alex?
I think by a year or two.
So my guesstimate is that by the time that Alex uh is in that moment of, like, passing down, like, the legacy,
Oh,
I
he
think,
probably wants someone younger.
yeah, exactly. That's my opinion, is he might look to find someone younger than him to carry out the legacy instead of someone that's his same age or older, because it's like, I think Pablo at the time of that happening, he might be on the same path that Alex might be, which is already with like a wife and like a family and all that. And when that happens, things change a little. You know what I mean? Um, so I mean that was a good guess though. That's a good guesstimate. Um,
Yeah. Going back to Penny's comment there, she's like, Jeff and I have offered our home to Alex if he ever comes back to Oregon. JDQ, do you feel him and his Pablo and anyone else he brains will be okay staying in a pure country living, no fast food, etc.
Let me tell y'all something, man. Look, check this out. They, truth be told, especially starting with Alex, but the whole team or whatever, um, they try to eat as clean as possible. Okay, they're not fans. You might see them eating at different places or whatever, and different spots that you might consider fast food.
Oh, you mean his food challenge?
Right, 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 right.
Yeah, yeah. He said why he does that though. He does it to save money, which is very smart, but at the same time unhealthy.
Exactly. And now this is what I was gonna say is, you what you see on the videos and food challenges is one thing, right? And this is where I say, the reality is different from what you see on the video or whatever.
Yeah.
Is when it comes to food, they'll eat. They eat, healthy amounts, but they'll try, if possible, if and when possible, to eat as clean as they can. I'll give you an example. So when they were here and mom cooked for them or whatever,
Hmm.
it was fried food. It was, and so Alex, he was like, he hesitated a little bit because he was like, oh man, like I know I shouldn't. I was watching him, and he ate normal, but right before he dug in, he was like, I could feel that I could sense that maybe in his head he was like, damn, I shouldn't be eating this. But how am I gonna say no to JDQ's mom? That'd be, you know what I'm saying, like disrespectful or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he ate, you know, and they all ate, but I could sense that there was like a bit of small hesitation. Um,
Mhm.
and then when it came to the beverage, um, I don't drink soda. I haven't drank soda like in a long time.
Same here.
Um, but my parents, they buy soda for themselves and for visitors. So when I brought out the sodas for Alex and the team, they were all like, "Nah, we want water." And I was like, "Really?" Because it was so strange for a visitor to ask for water. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like, you're one of my peoples, then I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, he does drink a lot of water. You see that on a lot of his videos.
Exactly, he does, and they all do. But yeah, mostly him. Um,
Yeah.
I think it has more to do with his size and all that. But you know, in reality, they try to eat as clean as they can. So hopefully
I'm
that,
a little surprised by Alex on that.
yeah, you would think, right? You would think, but no. I mean, from what I saw, I can only express and talk about from what I saw. I can't. If outside of that he does things differently, then I don't know. But at least from what I witnessed, you know, he's just he tries. He tries to eat as clean as possible.
Sabrina says, I don't see Alex ending. Oh, he's got other goals that he wants to. He says he wants to be a cop, if I remember
Mhm.
correctly.
That's correct.
So, although I don't know why he wants to be a cop. He should go higher than that.
I
You know.
think he wants to start out as a cop to build experience so that he can later on go for higher positions. I think that's
True.
ultimately what his plan is. But you know, you gotta let him feel his way through little by little.
Yeah, you're right. And if he does become a cop, I hope he gets that.
Yeah,
And he just keeps building his legacy.
yeah.
Penny or Tatiana says, Penny, they will eat anything. Okay. They're good young men with huge appetites.
Prepare to
I
go.
miss Alex's food challenges.
Imagine getting pulled over by Alex. Ryan says. I mean, listen, man. If you're someone who screams and shouts and you know what I'm saying, does all this, like, yeah, you're gonna think twice if you see Alex pull you over for a speeding ticket or something like that. You know, you're gonna have a hard time trying to shout him down or something.
Yeah, Alex is I wish I could meet him one day. You know, I wish I could meet you too one day.
Like I said, whenever I go to Seattle or something, I'll definitely let you know that I'm.
Yeah, I'm not on the West Coast. I'm on the East.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Damn. That means I'd have to go the New York route. Uh,
Yeah, I'm across from Detroit.
got you. Okay. So, maybe it won't be as bad because I'm trying to. I'm not trying to avoid New York people because there's a New Yorker slash, you know what I'm saying, person of interest in New York ish. So I'm not trying to avoid New York people.
Hmm.
However, I am trying to avoid New York itself in a way. So the fact they say in Detroit, it's a lot less stressful for me. Like, okay, I could do that. I don't mind going through that route. That's fine. But the
Yeah.
moment someone says New York, I'm like, oh, please God, why? Especially with all this stuff that's going on over there, man. Is listen, I we got to start praying hard for New York, man. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Sabrina says, healthy food just makes me feel better. Well, it's true. That's why I'm a vegan. So,
See, I would love. I think the only way I could become a vegan is if I was living on my own. That's the only way because living here is not allowing me to do that at all. So,
I did that when I quit drinking because when I would drink, I would eat unhealthy,
mm.
like very unhealthy. I had a lot of greasy food. I would eat what Alex would eat on his food challenges, stuff like that.
The good old days. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but I'm not one of those people though that would force the vegan lifestyle on someone else. I'm not that kind of person. No.
Oh, that's what's up. That's good. I respect that.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, Serena's like, I don't drink soda either.
She
But
says, "No, don't get me wrong. I love meats."
yeah.
Oh my goodness, yo, y'all are killing me.
Yeah,
Y'all
it's always,
are killing me.
every time I meet with Alex and crew, they always drink water. I drink a lot of water.
Yeah. Typically, I drink either what's required for me to drink and slightly over. And on a good week or a good day, I drink double what I'm supposed to drink of water. So
Yeah, Penny's like, we raise all our meat and raise our vegetables, no fat, low fat cooking most of the time. But I'm pleased for anyone when visiting us. Nice.
hell yeah, I'm gonna have to visit Penny. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not. I'm not in a good financial spot right now to like go visiting left and right. So, but maybe one day we'll see. Sports coach, literally whenever you play anything, team of ours. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I could see that. Of course, something
Oh,
had to happen on a basketball court because I don't know, man. I would kind of bet on myself on the basketball court, but who knows? Maybe I'm being too, you know.
I won't, John. Trust me on that. And Ryan's like, I wouldn't picture Terrence a vegan. It's true, Ryan. I eat a lot of vegan stuff, and it's healthier, and it's
Oh yeah,
better for me.
no. A clean body, well, a clean body and a clean room clears the mind. So
Yeah,
definitely favor that.
because I'll be honest. I think during my drinking days, I think I did some damage,
Mm.
but hopefully, I'm still young enough that I repaired it.
I want to believe you have, and I want to believe that you continuing to, what I'm saying, do water and the vegan lifestyle will, if anything, strengthen what you've already fixed. So,
Yeah, like it'll be 3 years this December that I haven't touched one. So
hey man, listen, I'm very proud of you.
thank you.
Obviously, I haven't had the honor of being around you or whatever,
Yeah,
but 3 years, man. Listen, for anyone to tell me like they've gone a month or a year, I'm already super proud of them. So 3 years, bro, like I'm gonna have to like I don't know. I'll put it to you this way: for every year that that you keep this going, I'll give you one of my gems from my collection as a token of appreciation and honor to you.
nice. Thank you, JDQ. Appreciate it.
That's not
It's good.
not a
It's good.
promise.
Well, you know what? It's good motivation, though. You know.
There you go. I'll just make sure I buy extra copies of whatever I buy. That way I don't feel bad. Oh man. And then when I
But,
give you the copy, I'll be like, oh man, I'm so heartbroken. And you're like, man, shut up. You got a duplicate at the house. Stop you're doing too much right now. Um but for for dramatic effect, I need to, express myself and that so
yeah.
heartbroken. But I'm so proud of you. You deserve it. Oh man, yo.
But yeah, like I enjoy eating the healthy stuff. As I said, it helps me. Like most of the time, I feel like I'm in my early 20s again.
That's good, man. That's how we should all be feeling, to be honest with you. So the fact that you achieve that off of your diet alone,
Yeah.
bro, kudos to you and mad respect to you. That's good. That's really, really good.
But I'll be honest. Sometimes I feel like shit. Like my old lifestyle is there again. Like I just feel slow and sluggish sometimes, but not all the time.
Yep. And that's
But
what you
yeah,
gotta put up to balance. What do you
yeah,
feel most like throughout the time?
yeah. Like although I eat a lot of pickles, because I think because I watch Alex a lot.
I listen. I love pickles. I love
I,
pickles.
I do too. I grew up on that.
They gotta be sliced though. I can't. I'm not gonna eat no raw like pickle. Just
Uh, I would actually put the pickles in vegan cheese and melt it.
oh,
Like I used to get the sandwich from my friend's shop. It's not there no more. She closed. But used to get this pickle sandwich, and it was with vegan cheese on it. It was so good.
nice.
It was so good. But yeah,
Yeah, I have to
I
try that
hope.
one day.
Yeah, you should. I highly recommend it. Um, as I said, I hope I get to meet Alex and crew, and I hope I get to meet you one day. It just sucks that you know he's going through New York
Mm-hmm.
to get to Toronto. I guess it's faster for him.
Yep.
But oh well. Except I assumed he was cutting through Detroit. I just assumed that, and I was going to take him and the crew out for lunch or dinner, but I just can't pinpoint it when he's up in Toronto. 'Cause Toronto's huge.
I've never looked into how vast Toronto is, but I keep hearing from people who are living there or whatever. Um,
Hmm
they've told me the
it's
same
our, yeah, it's our version of New York.
thing.
It's
Got
our
it.
version of New York.
That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Emily,
So there's like, oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say Emily says that she puts hot sauce on pickles. Okay.
Never tried that before.
Ah,
Penny's like, we only live 5.5 hours from Seattle, Washington, here in our main home. Nice. Um, yeah. Oh, thank you, Emily. Appreciate it. Tatiana's like, yes, everyone needs to understand what they put into their bodies and how it affects the body. Long-term damage is hard to repair. Don't waste the amazing vessel God has blessed us all with. She's
mhm.
right,
That's correct. That's the best. No one could have said it better. That's really well laid out right there.
because we don't get another body.
Exactly. That is correct. This is what we were given.
Mhm,
This is the temple that he gave us.
that's true. Oh, look at that.
That
Jeez, it's pickles. Oh, don't let Alex find out. No, I don't think he likes fried pickles.
I mean, I enjoy fried pickles. I can't say I love fried pickles, but I enjoy them. They're occasionally they're good, but
But yeah, going back to the catch for a minute, like the one that you were with Alex, that was a really good catch. You know,
what?
um,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
the one he came across as so nervous.
So with that specific catch, what kind of helped it be the way it was, again, was the fact that dude was like really scared and really nervous. And so, when you have someone that looks worse than Steve Urkel and is just the epitome of what you think of when you think of a nerd, and just completely just I don't know how to explain it, man. It's as if he was like the embodiment of nervosism, if that makes sense. So, it just made the catch that much more um easier, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um and he pretty much confessed to most, if not everything, that he needed to confess to, because of it. He was very cooperative,
Hmm.
because of how nervous he was. Um, and at the same time, the everything was balanced and leveled out because he was meeting a celebrity to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Um, so that I guess that kind of helped also a little bit. Um, he
Um.
yeah, did I do that?
Did Alex tell you like you can like ask him questions or
No, no. He actually, I think from what I remember, he was like let me like get my questions out the way or whatever. At first, and after I let you know that I'm like done, if you want or feel like you want to tell him or ask him anything, you can afterwards. But let me make sure I get these out the way first. So that was like the agreement, and obviously. I wasn't even really there to like ask any questions or say anything because again, I was there to just study the in the moment, you know what I'm saying? Like catch. So I
Mhm.
was more focused on the learning experience versus me, you know what I'm saying, testing waters with what I would do or how I would go about doing something if it were my turn.
Mhm.
Um but he did, make the invitation that if I were to ask or say something to at least let him get what he needs to get out the way first.
Yeah. So I can go back to Penny there. She's like, Terrence, it's because your body loves the vinegar taste. I crave vinegar and sour things, not sweet things ever. Yeah, she's right. I agree with that. Tatiana's like, we can eat healthy and not starve like people think eating healthy means. Researching and understanding how food and drink really affects the body is very important. Uh, it's true.
Very true. Very, very true. Yep.
But yeah, like hopefully you and Alex do another team up pretty soon. It'd be sweet to see, you know.
Yep. That all goes back to like I said earlier, if he's indeed near my area, whether it be a city or two away, and if he's that close, I'm 9 times out of 10, I'll be willing to like make the drive. Um, Anywhere between like half hour to an hour. I find it pretty reasonable and comfortable for me to like be like, all right, yeah, I'll make the drive or whatever. Anything past like an hour and a half or 2 hours, I have to like think about it just because gas money, and also just kind of like I hate driving, so so. But yeah, definitely, if he's near my neck of the woods, then yeah, for sure, I would pretty much like empty out my calendar or agenda to be like, all right, I'll meet you over there or whatever.
Yeah, like how often is he there? Do you know? Or
Man, I want to say on average, he's in the state maybe like once a month at least. That's got to be somewhat of the average of like at least one time a month he visits Florida.
mm,
Yep.
Red Hood's like the last person to pull up on Ghost and Alex got his face smashed into the ground. I remember that catch. It was last summer.
Hell, even I remember that.
Yeah. What was his Brock something if I remember correctly?
I don't remember his name, but I remember the actual like scene of.
Yeah, they met him at the park, and he went to go swing at Ghost, and Alex took him down.
Yep.
Yeah,
Let
that
him
was
see the
epic actually.
way.
I got sat on.
Oh Lord, help me.
Constantine. Well, I'm not.
Uh,
That's not the right one, Red. That I was thinking of.
I see. Real quick, I think I see one comment by Pat Con. He says, Have you dove into the Michael Jackson versus the music industry before the media made him out in a negative light?" Personally, yes, I have. But for research purposes and investigative work or to make content out of it, no, I haven't. I haven't dove that deep. But for personal interest of me wanting to know what all that was about, at one point I did, yeah.
Do you think that picking back on that? Do you think Michael Jackson was one?
Well, was like one in the
You
sense of
know,
like
like, yeah, with the kids. I mean,
with the P word.
yeah.
Listen, man, his story is so difficult to decipher because you got to take into consideration um, that he was abused, as a child and all that stuff, and the the information out there pretty much states that uh, sadly, more than half the time that something like that does happen to a child, and I'm not saying he was abused in a in some type of way. I'm just saying the way he was brought up was very physically abused. Um, and so when stuff like that happens to a child, more than half the time they turn to either doing the same thing or something similar. You know what I'm saying, to whoever they um, pick as victims or whatever.
Hmm.
So that's one thing to consider right there. Ah, man. But if I were to give you like my personal opinion, like
Hmm.
top of my head, I'd say like I don't think he did. Um, and even if he did, let's say he did,
Hmm.
even then, it's my belief, in my opinion, that it was more like he was like forced into doing it against his own personal will. Because that whole world of helly weird and all that, like, you gotta look at it this way. It's kind of like, hey, you better do this or else this and this happens, right?
Hmm.
And then when you feel and seem like you have no choice because they're gonna, like, what I'm saying, off one of your family members or off you or mess up your career or whatever the case may be, um, you're pretty much forced to do it. And then when you do it, they use that against you in the future if you try to do something about it. Like, what I'm saying? Try to like speak out and try to, you know, um, help uncover some of the stuff that's going on. They use that as blackmail and say, don't try to do anything or say anything or unmask us or whatever, because remember, we have this video footage of you doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if he did do it, I think he was probably forced in doing it, but I don't think he did do it.
I don't think so either. I think he was naive.
Hmm.
I think, and the family or the parents saw that and they took advantage and said, "Okay, he did this. We want money."
Yeah, that's also a possibility. That's always a possibility.
Um,
You got people like that out there.
yeah, going back to what Red said earlier. Yeah, that wasn't the. I was wrong on that. My bad. Red's like that's not even who I was talking about. I'm talking about the Chomo Hunter who wannabe catcher who tried fighting both Ghost and Alex and got his ass
Oh,
beat.
I don't remember that.
I,
I
I,
don't know
don't,
what
I
you mean.
don't either. Yeah, my bad. I don't remember that. Consequence like he was a shit talker. Got a visit with Alex.
Oh Lord,
I don't remember. Was he the? No, okay, no, I don't remember that.
you're gonna have to see a clip of it somewhere. Y'all gonna have to y'all gonna have
Look,
to
yeah,
refresh my memory with a clip.
yeah. Look what Red said. He's like the food tried biting Alex ankle and almost got Seth Rollins stomped by a ghost.
Ah, that's funny, yo.
I don't remember that. Do you?
Mm-mm. But that
No.
sounds funny though. Like, I feel like I would have remembered that if I would have seen it.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. Ghost should do a catch in that guy's. Oh, okay. He's talking about the other guy. Yeah, did you hear about that?
Mm-mm.
Um, there's this crazy guy. He made a video and he basically threatened Ghost.
Uh Listen, man. When it comes to that kind of like dumb second party type of altercation or whatever, I don't really care for it, because anytime someone is threatening these guys who are out there actually doing the world some good, I don't really care for them. It's like, all right, you know, it's just don't make any sense.
And he had Ghost's real name in the description. Like this guy's really unhinged.
Wow. I tell you, man, like I don't know. Sometimes we have people in the community that are smart enough and have the ability to like reverse track some of these people. And I've said it in the past, and it's not off the table, but I really do believe that if the community were to like use that to their advantage
Hmm.
and like pretty much, you know, confront the person that's talking all this trash or whatever, um, pretty sure you might be able to nip it in the bud. But if not, and you keep allowing them to talk what they're gonna talk, and whatever, make all these threats, you just allowing them to feel power for themselves.
Yeah, like I should send you a link after. You'd be quite. It would just make you shake your head. This guy's
Probably.
a nut job. Like you can't reason with him.
Mm-mm.
Tatiana's like, I cannot believe the thirstiness of YouTube groupies either. It's disgusting to me. These groupies would never give most of these people a second look if it wasn't for the YouTube fame.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
Uh, Red Hood's like, I think the guy's real name has been released by someone. People should be made aware. Keep themselves safe. We don't want another charity Dennis Radonsky. Uh, John's like, this that scumbag is just trying to appear important. He's definitely dangerous and a loose cannon. Yeah, I'll send you a link after this guy's video. He's made quite a few of them. It's very disturbing on many levels. Very disturbing, and I don't know if he'll actually act on what he says, but I don't know. Apparently he lives in the same area as Ghost does. So that's a scary thing. But if he pulls up on Ghost, I'm pretty sure Ghost will beat the shit out of him.
I would hope so, man, because these people, these people like need to be like stopped. They're as dangerous as these p words, and if not even more, because if you're against someone being against p words, then
Hmm.
something's mentally wrong with you. Something's mentally and spiritually wrong with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, as Red Hood just said, clear mental illness.
So there you go. Thanks for confirming, Red.
And the fact that YouTube allows them to be on still, yet they go after people like Alex and Ghosts and other catchers.
I will say it one more time, and I will always say this: um, YouTube and Google, there's agendas that they have, and they're going to be one of the platforms or some of the platforms that, when the time comes of these older males saying, "Oh, I'm feel a certain way towards this child or something. Let me express myself because that's my right or whatever."
Hmm.
Um, YouTube and Google are going to be some of those platforms that would like, yeah, we applaud that. Yes, that's we support that or whatever. Because if they're already supporting other stuff that harms our children psychologically and all this other stuff, they allow it. They allow it on YouTube, and sometimes they even push it within the algorithm. Then what's not to be expected on the other stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah, very true. Red's like, yeah, I mean, he's doxing in the bio of his page. How's he still there? I don't know. I can't even answer that.
They want problems and situations to start within the community.
John's like, if the catchers served him with a cease and assist, he's going to have to stop. I don't know if that will work, in all honesty.
Hmm.
Tatiana's like, clearly there's a lot of mental illness running rampant on YouTube. And she's not wrong. But
Yep.
yeah, I'll send you some. I'll send you a link to his video after, and it's very disturbing and quite shocking about this guy. Red Hood's like, yeah, the mental illness runs rampant around here. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. It's sad, but hey, that's the reality that we gotta put up with for now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to end it here. So almost at the 3 hour mark. We almost went 3 hours. It's not bad.
Hey, man, when a good conversation is going, I mean that's just what happens. So
Yeah, I was thinking too. Maybe next time, since you're into comics, Red Hood's into comics, and myself, we could do a panel.
yeah, man, I'm down for that anytime. This nigga said go for the full 3 hours. Man, listen,
Well,
I
we got 15 more minutes.
I don't have a problem with that. My thing is, my thing is, brother Red, are you down to pay some late night dinner? That's my question. Red, listen, man. I'll say it again. I said this nigga right here. listen, listen, my colored friend. Yes, that's my only question is if I stay until the 3 hour mark, is there going to be a late night dinner waiting for me outside my door? Ah, oh my goodness. That this guy. It's funny.
But yeah, like
Uh,
you and I and Red could do a stream where we just talk about comics one day if he wants to. It's up to him.
yeah, he's the one that has a literal DC character as his profile picture and name. So
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
I'm just kidding about that, man. I'm just
I
kidding
never
about
get to
that.
see you, but I want to know where you live.
I'll give you my address, but I won't give it to you tonight because I'm not gonna accept any Uber Eats because knowing
I don't trust Uber.
the, I don't trust Red with my food. He's probably gonna order something that I probably hate, like sushi or something. If there is a sushi spot open, like
Oh,
which
I
there
think he
are.
likes. Yeah, I think he likes Chinese food.
Nah, man, get out of here with that. I will send you the address. Just I'll probably send it after the 3 hour mark. That way, once you find it or once you have it, you can't really order nothing until like another day or something. But but yeah, man. Yeah, I don't have a problem staying for the 3 hour mark.
I don't see why not. Red's like, I like how you're more worried about your food and not your address.
because I trust you like that, okay? I trust you with my address, which is not with my food, okay? Take it as a compliment, okay? Oh man. I don't hate sushi. I just strongly dislike it, okay?
And while you're at it,
Maybe, Red. Maybe one day I'll take that leap of faith and be like, okay, you're my new life lock account holder.
oh, look at Emily's comment there.
I know that's why I'm laughing even harder. I'm like, okay, yeah, you caught me. I said it. Okay, I did say this, and I will not deny that these words were uttered from my mouth. However, I need to clarify. I'm clarifying, okay, by stating that I do not literally hate sushi. I just strongly dislike it. But you already knew this. What are you talking about, Em? You already knew this. We've talked about this before already. Because she loves sushi, but of course, you know what I'm saying? Opposites blanky blank.
Yeah, opposites
So
attract.
oh man. But that's not to stop me You know what I'm saying? To invite someone to
Yeah.
a sushi spot. Okay, I'm not the type that be, oh, just because I don't like it, I'm not gonna take you there ever or go there ever. Like, no, I'm the type that I might not like something, but I won't not give it a shot. So if that makes any sense. Sorry. See, and that's
Opposites attract.
And that was me being nice earlier. Okay, okay, fine. Yeah, I said the word, but let's clarify it just if need be. But no, yeah, like I don't hate sushi. I just the sushi that I've had has not sat well in my stomach. I'll just put it to you that way. Mm.
Red, when's your next live?
Red has been doing lives, I think, on the dark Arkham Knights. Is it the Arkham
Uh,
Knights?
Gotham Night.
Gotham Knights, thank you. Gotham Knights, the game that just came out a while ago. He's been doing some gameplay, and I've been watching from a distance, bro. I don't be saying, yo, like, what's up? Like, I'm here because I know the moment I say that in the live chat, he's gonna be like, oh man, like, get on with me right now. And sometimes it's like super late in the night, and I'm in my bed or in the bathroom or on the toilet, like thinking to myself, no, don't put yourself in that position because he's gonna want you on live with him, and you're not in a position literally to like be on the stream with him right now. So, oh my goodness. Just don't buy it from a gas station. Okay, okay. But the
Yeah.
sushi, man, I have stories about gas station food that I can talk about, but I'm not going to because I don't want to gross anyone out. But
I think we get the idea. We heard like we know where stuff like that ends.
oh my goodness.
Buying gas station food is like buying food from 7-Eleven.
I've always wondered how different, you know what I'm saying, that type of stuff is like from where you're from versus like where I'm from. Cause I'm like, it's my understanding that I'm not saying everything, but most things I believe or my opinion is that over there where you're at,
Yeah.
either taste better or are of better quality overall. So
I think it would be over here.
that's what I thought.
Yeah. We got that GMO stuff. You know, I'm not sure if
Mhm.
you guys have that though, but it's over here. Like
Wait,
we're
like
a
the
lot of
non-GMO stuff?
no, we got the what's a GM? I think it's a GMO. I'm not entirely sure, but our food is clean over here, so
Mm.
and fresh.
No, I mean that's what I would assume because it's like I said earlier. I be hearing uh, great things from over there. You know what I mean? Like versus here. So
Yeah, our food's pretty good. It's really good actually.
uh, I
Yeah.
don't. Message to M. I have never had sushi from a gas station, nor will I ever. Listen, if I already feel unsafe eating sushi from an actual sushi spot, trust me, I'm not gonna feel. I'm gonna feel less safe eating sushi from a gas station spot. Put it to you that way.
Constant's like, yeah, that's exactly what that fool wants: is subs and clout and chase to go after catchers for it. If you support catchers, you should know better than to sub to someone like that. Shaking my head, he wants that 70 last night. Huh. Redhead's like, constantly, maybe some people are subscribed to keep tabs on him, not because they actually support. Red's right, you know, like, I'm sub to some people just to keep an eye on them.
Hmm. Yeah, I heard that. Mm-mm. Interesting. That is interesting.
Yeah. So when do you plan on coming to Canada?
Well, I mean, I was really hoping to try to go before this year ended, but I mean, the way things are looking right now, it's looking really uphill.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try last quarter of next year, of this year that's coming up now. So the last one of the last 4 months of next year.
Okay. And when the weather's nicer too.
I would hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. The weather right now here is it's kind of crappy.
When you say crappy, you mean what? Like extremely cold with like snow and stuff, or
Not, we don't have snow yet, but it's cold. You know,
hmm.
and it's been raining a bit lately, so cold and rain mixed together. It's not really
Oh
good.
no, that's not good. No, I'm not a fan of that. I'm a fan of rain, yeah, but
But same here.
snow and rain, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Yeah, and we usually get the snow here in early January, early to mid January.
And is it that dry snow, or is that slushy snow, that the powdery type snow, or like the icy, um because there's
Oh, it
yeah,
differs.
uh,
Like like we would get like the ice, but it'd be covered in snow.
mm,
We get some of that dangerous stuff.
the the black ice. What do you got against black ice?
No, I got nothing against it.
It's always more dangerous when it's black for some reason. Oh my goodness, yo. Oh man, I'm done. I'm done, yo. Like
Constant. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I hate like when my veins from like my forehead shows. I hate it. But yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
All right,
So,
Penny. Have a good one, and thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
hot tub,
Mm.
huh? Okay.
And yeah, enjoy the rest of your night. And again, thank you for being here. But yeah, our weather here. What is this? 6 inch or 6 feet? Tell me if it's 6 feet. Um, 6 inch. I'm not gonna JDQ stuff now.
Oh my goodness. Have a great night. Yeah, it's probably a 6 foot inch. I mean, 6 foot fence.
6 foot fence.
I mean, I would hope so because it's 6 inches. I mean, I have to scroll back and see exactly who. Oh, he's talking about Tommy. Got you,
Uh-oh.
got you, got
Yeah.
you. Okay, in that case, I hope it is a 6 inch fence.
Ota. Anyway, I hope you feel better.
Yep, yep, same here. I hope Penny gets all those aches out. But yeah, you have less than 2 minutes, sir,
Yeah.
to ask me any bonus questions before I bounce into the mist.
Um, I can't really think of anything else other than for thank you for being on here tonight. Appreciate it. I really do. You know.
Yeah, man. Listen. I number one, you're a longtime channel family member slash like supporter.
Thank you.
Um, you always express yourself in a very respectful, supportive manner in the live chat. And even when we do have whatever type of like disagreement, if we ever do, even then, you're very respectful. Um, these are things that I consider when someone asks me like, "Hey, are you down for like a stream or whatever?" I kind of like not like I don't pick stuff apart like that, but I'll do like a quick uh review in my mind, like how has this person been like in the past or whatever throughout this time that I've known them.
Hmm.
And like you're cool peoples, you're very supportive, you're very respectful. You're always showing up to my streams, so there's no way I'm gonna say no to you. And plus, you're just awesome to be around in general. So
Thank you.
it's
Appreciate that.
great having conversations with you. So it was my pleasure, man. It was my honor to be here and actually witness your voice for
Yeah,
the
first time ever.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I remember you wanted me to go on your stream on the JDQ channel several months ago, and I never got a chance.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah,
Uh,
and then Tech was like, he's like, yeah, you should start going live, and I'm like, I'm not sure. And then I started seeing my sub count going up. I'm like, okay, I guess I should. And then I started doing it, and just took off from there.
Good, man. Good. Keep doing what you're doing. Like, I mean, listen, uh, whether it be you having people on, for like interviews or conversations, or the panel that you want to do with Red and me, whatever you're gonna be doing, just keep doing it. Don't be this guy that nowadays, what I'm saying, I'd be too laid back with like how frequently I do streams or put stuff out there or whatever.
Yeah.
Try to be as consistent as you can be. That's honestly the best advice I could give you. Um, for me right now, like where I'm mostly consistent in is TikTok, but only because of how easy it is for me to like do stuff to put out on TikTok. Most of it is just like screen recordings, like I used to do back in the day. Um, but as far as like going live and stuff, I'm trying to get myself and the team on the same page
Hmm.
in a more scheduled manner. But obviously, um, they both have a stricter work schedule than I do. So but we're getting there though, man. So keep doing what you do, and thanks for
Thank you.
having me on here. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Red Hood's like, should we consider this a JDQ comeback? And then he's like, the only acceptable answer is yes.
Yeah, man, you might as well. Well, you've got the wait. What's the number now on it? The 4,056th comeback of JDQ. So I mean, might as well call it a comeback.
John's like, thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, man. Listen, John is another one that if John tells me, hey, want to join me on a stream, I'm not gonna say no to you. I'm not gonna say no to Rob Plum. I'm not. I might say no to Red Hood if he's like doing it extremely late, but that's another one that I wouldn't say no to. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard because you guys are so great and so supportive in general.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Thank you for being here, Emily. Appreciate it. You know.
I also appreciate Emily's presence here tonight. I thank you for being here.
Yeah. JDQ's 4,056 comeback.
I'm telling you, man, someone's keeping count, and I appreciate it because I don't keep count. That's for damn sure. I don't. The American dream. Oh Lord, help us all. Yeah, yeah. That's another reason why, if you were to ask me to go on stream with you, I would not hesitate to say like, of course, yes, yes, we are still live, guys. That's the way the
but
cookie crumbles.
but again, can someone post JDQ's link to the both channels, please? For Visionite View and JDQ channel. But yeah, in all honesty, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. It means a lot,
Yeah, man. Anytime. Just for whenever you if you're wanting me on again, just do what you did this time, and just let me know in advance,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
send me reminders and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was my honor and pleasure to be here. You know,
Yeah, thank you. I want to try to get Alex on here one day.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind being out here.
Yeah,
Ugh.
because I got an interesting topic for him. So
Ooh. Well, you gotta reel him. You gotta bait him, and then reel him in. They're like, "Hey, man, think the elections might go in your favor if this would be in your best interest if."
I'll throw in some fried pickles
There you go.
and a bottle of water.
There you go. Oh, a gallon of water. He looks at a gallon of water like a bottle of water. So,
Uh,
so not
Tatiana
too.
was like, when my father had his first heart attack, the heart specialist told him not to use the hot tub for several months. You know, it's relaxing. It puts stress on the heart. I never knew that.
I did not know that either. Interesting. Hmm.
Huh.
God is always in charge. Let me just. Christy said something right there in the live chat. And just for me to confirm, God is always in control, regardless. But you do have to put your trust completely and blindly in His hands, um, and just allow Him to do what He's gonna do.
Well, you
Always.
know, oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, obviously, always pray and hope for the best, but always keep in mind that necessarily what you think is best for you isn't necessarily what God knows is best for you. So,
Yeah. And like what I said before, in God we trust. You know.
oh yeah, yep. In God we trust indeed. Yes, sir. Oh,
Uh, uh-oh. Hang on a second. Christine's like, I've been having some rough days, having to make difficult decisions. And today, two different situations happened that reminded me God is in charge. He's always around in mysterious ways. Christine, if you ever need to talk, you just hit me up on Facebook. You know that.
real quick. I haven't seen the entire live chat, but um, before I leave, I do want to say that again, I haven't seen the entirety of like the conversation that there might have been going on earlier
Mm-hmm.
between Dead Swiss and some of the people in live chat.
Yeah.
But I will say, I'm going to be praying for you guys, especially for Dead Twist. I've known Dead Twist for a while now, and he's been a huge supporter, as far as like my content and my channels and all that goes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Dead Twist does have a special place uh, in my heart. No homo. But you know what I'm saying? I appreciate him a lot. And so I think I see like a little bit of um turbulence in the live chat. I don't know what it's really about, but I feel like him like a little uneasy or maybe frustrated or something. So I'll definitely be praying for you, Dead Twist, and everybody else in the live chat. But just yeah, just figured I would just say that before I bounced. But yeah,
Yeah. Hang on a second. Christine's like, it wasn't even about me. I've been trying to help a student and things happen. Only God. That amazed me. Huh.
but yeah.
Yeah, past the 3 hour mark now. So.
Yes,
Oh wait,
sir.
hang on a second. Rod said something. So I have hit it rock bottom multiple times in my life. Friends and family have always been there for me, so there is a God. That's true, you know. As I said, you know, myself included, I had my back against the wall many times in my life. I still do, even to this day, you know, and I'm still here, you know.
Yeah. Praise God.
Mm,
God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. We're the ones that many times make things more difficult than they need to be.
yeah. And You know, to the ones that don't believe in God, I hope they find their way and do one day.
Yeah, where there is a will and there's a real, want and desire to get to know God, and there's true action, genuine action, they will find God, or God will find them. But
Yeah.
yep, God bless every single one of you guys, man. Blessings of love to you and everybody in the live chat.
And blessings to you and your family there, JDQ, and everyone in the chat. Particularly Red Hood's comment.
I saw it right now. I saw it right now. I appreciate that, bro. Don't do it for me, but I understand what you're saying though. I appreciate the compliment, but but don't do it for me. Just do it because you're in pursuit of God and your relationship with God. So, but thanks for the comment. That was funny. I appreciate it.
Cat Eyes is God is good.
All the time. And all the time, God is good. That is the truth.
All right. I want to thank everyone for joining me and JDQ here tonight. I really appreciate it. It's an honor. And again, thank you, JDQ, for being here. I'm honored that you're here. It means a lot.
Nah, man, I'm honored. But I'll let you win this time. Thanks for having me, though. I appreciate it, and I truly was honored. So,
well, that's back-to-back interviews I did with Chris and then you.
yeah, man. Listen, you're on your way. You're on your way. I can feel it. So, next time you put out an interview or a stream or something, just remind me, and then I'll share it on my channels. That
Thank
way,
you.
people can come across it a lot sooner. So,
Thank you. Appreciate it, brother. I really do.
yes, sir. Drake with a J in the front, but okay, I'll accept it.
You're welcome, Cat Eyes. So yeah, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it, and again, thank you, JDQ. I really appreciate it, and blessings to you and your family, and to everyone tonight.
Likewise, brother. Likewise, and yeah, my pleasure as always. Anytime.
Yeah. Oh wait, hang on a second. Red Hood's like, oh my God, Drake, just leave it already. You've been saying it for about 6 minutes now.
I mean, you already know. You already know that I'm a very talkative person. I'm very expressive. So sue me. All right, sue me. How about that? Cash me outside. I don't know. But I am gonna leave so I can like eat something because I am not gonna lie, I am starving, even though I ate right before the actual interview. So
Yeah.
but yeah.
All right. Yes, thank you, Rod. Appreciate it. And have a good night, JDQ, and everyone. And go eat something there, JDQ.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Yep. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.